How do you feel when you switch to Geico and save on your car insurance? It's like going to work on one Thursday morning and thinking to yourself, just one more day until Friday. But then somebody in the elevator says, Happy Friday! Then you check your phone quickly and discover today is actually Friday. So yes, Happy Friday, random stranger in the elevator. Happy Friday indeed. Yep, switching and saving with Geico feels just like that. Get more with Geico.
What's the easiest choice you can make? Window instead of middle seat? Picking a vendor who sends a great gift basket? Outsourcing business tasks you hate? What about selling with Shopify? Whether you're selling a little or a lot, Shopify helps you do your thing, however you cha-ching. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business. From the launch your online shop stage to the first real-life store stage, all the way to the did we just hit 1 million orders stage? Shopify's there to help you grow. Whether you're selling scented soap or offering outdoor outfits, Shopify helps you sell. Wherever and whatever you're selling, Shopify's got you covered. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/try. Go to shopify.com/try now to grow your business, no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/try.
Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into a time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
A funny Friday with episodes of the Jimmy Durante-Garry Moore Show from 1946, Harold Peary from 1950, and the Thanksgiving play, Father Knows Best from 1951, J Carrol Naish in Life with Luigi from 1949, and Claudia. That's all straight ahead. On this Friday, this is the 22nd day of November. It is the 327th day of the year, 39 days left till we get to 2025. President Roosevelt, British Prime Minister Churchill, Chinese leader Chiang Kai-shek met in Cairo to discuss ways to defeat Japan on this date in 1943.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special bulletin from ABC Radio. Here is a special bulletin from Dallas, Texas. 3 shots were fired at President Kennedy's motorcade today in downtown Dallas, Texas. Let me repeat the substance of the bulletin. President Kennedy and Texas Governor John Connally shot from ambush while the president's motorcade traveled through Dallas, Texas just a little while ago. At the present moment, both men are in the operating rooms at Parkland Memorial Hospital in Dallas, Texas. Both are reported still alive, but in very serious condition.
The first bulletin from ABC News about what would be the end of an era.
Here, the president was headed for another speech, and the motorcade was moving along on this freeway, going under a ramp of another freeway when the attack took place.
Here is some information on a speech which he apparently had just made before being shot. President Kennedy lashed out today at those he said confused rhetoric with reality. Speaking in an area where supporters are booming Senator Barry Goldwater's chances for the 1964 Republican nomination, Kennedy said that ignorance and misinformation, if allowed to prevail in foreign policy, handicaps this country's security.
NBC News.
NBC's Chet Huntley and Bill Ryan. Now, in an age of no instant video or live feeds from the scene, NBC's Robert McNeil fed a report over the phone from Parkland Hospital relayed by Frank McGee.
We have NBC's Bob McNeil on the line now with the report. Please go ahead, Bob. White House Press Secretary Malcolm Kilduff has just announced that President Kennedy died at approximately 1 o'clock Central Standard Time, which is about 35 minutes ago.
After being shot
by an
unknown assailant during a motorcade drive through downtown Dallas.
During a motorcade drive through downtown Dallas.
The president died.
The president died.
Approximately 25 minutes.
Approximately 25 minutes.
After the attack took place.
After the attack took place.
He had been rushed, bleeding and unconscious.
He had been rushed, bleeding and unconscious.
To the Parkland Memorial Hospital in Dallas.
To the Parkland Memorial Hospital in Dallas.
And was given blood transfusions.
And was given blood transfusions.
About 15 minutes ago.
About 15 minutes ago, reports NBC's Bob McNeil from Dallas, to whom I'm talking now.
A priest emerged.
A priest emerged.
After having given the president.
After having given the president.
The last rites.
The last rites.
This was the first time that television was put to the test. They were not prepared to do this. And so, for 2 or 3 reports before that, Robert McNeil had to say what was going on from Parkland Hospital, and as you heard at the beginning there, Frank McGee just had to repeat it. Well, finally, just in time for the official announcement, they fixed the technical issues. President Kennedy assassinated on this date in 1963, Texas Governor John Connally seriously wounded. Later that same day, Vice President Lyndon Johnson sworn in as the 36th President of the United States. Here is the only recording of that swearing in.
I swear that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States and will to the best of my ability preserve, protect, defend the Constitution of the United States.
A scratchy dictaphone recording, the only testament to the swearing in of Vice President Lyndon Johnson on this date in 1963. 1968, the Beatles released the double album The Beatles, commonly known as the White Album. 1974, the UN General Assembly granted the Palestinian Liberation Organization observer status. In 1975, Juan Carlos declared King of Spain following the death of Francisco Franco. 1977, British Airways inaugurated a regular London to New York City supersonic Concorde service. In 1986, Mike Tyson knocked out Trevor Berbick in the second round, becoming the youngest world heavyweight boxing champion at the age of 20 years and 4 months. In 1999, Wayne Gretzky inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame, his number 99 permanently retired by the NHL. In 2003, the Heritage Classic, the first outdoor hockey game in the history of the NHL, played in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. In 2005, Ted Koppel retired after hosting Nightline for over 26 years. Also on this date in 2005, the Microsoft video game console, the Xbox 360, went on sale. In 2017, former USA sports doctor Larry Nassar pled guilty to multiple charges of sexual assault involving gymnasts.
It was not for any medical purpose, is that correct?
Correct.
It was for your own purpose, is that correct?
Yes.
And in 2022, a shooting at a Walmart in Chesapeake, Virginia, left 7 workers dead, including the shooter, and 4 others injured. Passing away on this date in history, the pirate Blackbeard, Edward Teach. Also, Shemp Howard, one of the Three Stooges periodically. Also, British author Aldous Huxley. Actress Mae West passing away on this date. Scatman Crothers, the very delightful actor. Voice actor Sterling Holloway. He was Winnie the Pooh in a number of cartoons. The businesswoman that founded Mary Kay Ash, passing away on this date. And Chester, on radio's Gunsmoke, Parley Bear, passing away on this date in history. Birthdays today include the travel entrepreneur Thomas Cook, the President of France, Charles de Gaulle, composer Hoagy Carmichael, Stardust, such a wonderful piece, pilot Wiley Post, composer Benjamin Britten, comedian Rodney Dangerfield, who finally gets some respect, actress Geraldine Page, and actor Robert Vaughn, all born on this date in history.
Hi, this is Jeff Foxworthy. It is now time for the birthday announcements. The following people are now officially older than dirt.
Terry Gilliam from Monty Python's Flying Circus, to 84 years old today. Tennis player Billie Jean King is 81 today.
It's about history. It's about changing the way the world thinks.
And she did. Billie Jean King, 81 years old today. Actress Jamie Lee Curtis, so much great work, but she also was in the remake of Freaky Friday.
You really want us to be each other?
Well, we will get through this morning as each other, and then we will go back to the restaurant at lunch and get switched back.
With Lindsay Lohan, Jamie Lee Curtis, 66 years old today. Actress Marielle Hemingway is 63. He was Bruce Banner in the recent Marvel movies. Mark Ruffalo, 57.
Now might be a really good time for you to get angry.
That's my secret, Captain. I'm always angry.
Yes, he also played the Hulk. Mark Ruffalo, 57 years old today. The actress Scarlett Johansson is 40.
I was doing just fine until you showed up. Did anyone ever tell you play a very aggressive game?
From the movie Match Point, Scarlett Johansson is 40 today. From Shadowhunters and Arrow, Catherine McNamara is 29. And Justin Bieber's wife, Stephen Baldwin's daughter, Haley Baldwin, is 28 today. Those just a few of the people who celebrate the 22nd day of November as their birthday. If this is your birthday,
we baked you a birthday cake. If you get a tummy ache and you moan and groan and woe, don't forget we told you so. Happy birthday! Happy birthday!
Make a wish, dear, and blow out the candles.
Here they go.
Up next, Jimmy Durante-Garry Moore from 78 years ago, November 22nd, 1946, here on this Friday Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
How do you feel when you switch to Geico and save on your car insurance? It's like going to work on one Thursday morning and thinking to yourself, just one more day until Friday. But then somebody in the elevator says, Happy Friday! Then you check your phone quickly and discover today's actually Friday. So yes, Happy Friday, random stranger in the elevator. Happy Friday indeed. Yep, switching and saving with Geico feels just like that. Get more with Geico. How do you feel when you switch to Geico and save on your car insurance? It's like going to work on one Thursday morning and thinking to yourself, just one more day until Friday. But then somebody in the elevator says, Happy Friday! Then you check your phone quickly and discover today's actually Friday. So yes, Happy Friday, random stranger in the elevator. Happy Friday indeed. Yep, switching and saving with Geico feels just like that. Get more with Geico.
The sun's shining, birds are singing, and all feels right in the world.
Until the season changes, and suddenly you lose your motivation to get out of bed. In fact, 1 in 5 people experience some form of depression, no matter the season or time of year.
At the American Psychiatric Association Foundation, our vision is to build a mentally healthy nation for all, because we want you to live your best life and be your best you all year round.
Please visit mentallyhealthynation.org to learn more.
Listen and learn through civil defense. This is Johnny Cash. I'd like all of you to remember that America can withstand enemy attack if we support the emergency plans of our community and learn to help ourselves. Make sure you're prepared. Contact your local civil defense office today.
Now we go back 78 years to November 22nd, 1946. Jimmy Durante-Garry Moore.
Good health to all from Rexall.
Hello, Rexall Drug Program. Gary Moore speaking.
Hello, Gary. This is Jimmy.
Jimmy Durante, where are you?
I'm trying to get to the studio on time. I passed 3 red lights, went the wrong way up a one-way street, drove over the sidewalk and did a solid 50 miles an hour down Sunset Boulevard.
But, Jimmy, they can put you in jail for that.
Where do you think I'm calling from?
Yes, from Hollywood, it's the nose and the haircut. Jimmy Durante and Gary Moore, with Suzanne Ellers, Roy Bargy and his orchestra, and yours truly, Howard Petrie. Brought to you by 10,000 Rexall drugstores, who carry the complete line of top-quality Rexall drug products. Ladies and gentlemen, next Thursday is Thanksgiving, a holiday started by the Pilgrims who gave thanks when they landed on Plymouth Rock. But now we bring you a young man who would give thanks if he could just land in old Plymouth. And here he is, Gary Moore.
Thank you. Thank you very much, my friends, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. May I wish you a very happy November the 22nd. And before we do anything else tonight, we're going to hold the grand drawing for our annual turkey raffle. Now, of course, we all understand that if the person with the winning number is not in the audience tonight, the turkey automatically becomes mine. Now, I draw the number out of the hat, and it is number 64709.
64709! I got it!
64709! Well, better luck next year. Now, getting on with the program here. Excuse me. Hello?
Say, Mr. Moore, it is true, isn't it, that on Thanksgiving Day people eat turkeys?
Why, of course.
I told you had it wrong, you crazy turkey. Let go of my leg.
You know I'm going to have that telephone taken out of here? Last night I got a call at 3 o'clock in the morning, and a voice said, "Pardon me, what radio program are you listening to?" I said, "Radio program? I'm sound asleep." She said, "Oh, the Durante Moore Show, eh?" Personally, I considered that very, very rude. I did.
Well, Gary, it seems to me that nobody is as courteous nowadays as they used to be.
What? Why, Suzanne Ellers. Bless your little Emily Post. And I agree with you, too, Suzanne. You know, in the old days, if a gentleman was walking along with a lady and they came to a mud puddle, right away he'd take off the coat and spread it over the puddle. And after the lady walked across, she'd say,
"Thank you, Herman, but next time let's use your coat."
It was a beautiful, beautiful thing.
Gary, why don't you give the folks a few pointers on etiquette?
Well, let's take what we were just talking about here, walking on the sidewalk. Now, when walking to a football game, the gentleman always walks 2.5 paces behind his mother-in-law.
Well, why 2.5 paces?
In football, that's the regulation distance for a place kick. And you know, Suzanne, ladies can be pretty rude sometimes, too, especially when they keep people waiting on streetcars while they rummage through their purses.
Well, don't look at me, Gary. My purse is never crowded.
It isn't, huh? Let me peek into your purse here for a minute. Now, a bag of marbles, an electric toaster, your boyfriend's picture, your boyfriend. And my goodness, Suzanne, what is this? Gee whiz, you know, those helicopters can take off from any place, can't they? Hi-oh, maybe etiquette isn't too necessary anyway. But besides, here's the guy who proves my point, Jimmy Durante, in person.
You've got to start off each day with a song. Now, even when things go wrong, you'll feel better, you'll even look better. I'm here to stop the music, stop the music. My orchestration calls for a cowbell, not a cow. Now, for my second number, I'll sing. Mammy, Mammy, the sun shines east, the sun shines west. California's sunshine. The only sunshine in the world guaranteed to shrink a shirt.
Oh, Stas, you are in fine voice tonight.
Thank you, Junior. And that was only on one tonsil, which I inherited from my pater.
Your pater?
Yeah, you know, my brother.
Oh, your brother.
Who did you think he was, my old man? But that is neither sand, burr, nor dew. For your edification, Junior, I just got back from Washington where I spent 2 days in secret session with the president.
Ooh, a crisis?
Yes, a critical crisis.
We called in the Secretary of the Navy, the Secretary of War, the Army Engineers, and the greatest scientific minds in the country, but it was no use. Even they couldn't figure out how to stop the leak in my swimming pool. Why, they poured more concrete in my pool than they got in Boulder Dodge.
James, you mean Boulder Dam?
Watch your language, Mr. Moore. After all, this program is being shortwaved to pickets.
Jimmy, is that why you went down to Washington to discuss your swimming pool?
Not exactly. Mr. Truman had a few problems of his own. Oh. When I arrived, he was putting an oil burner in the basement, a wood burner in the kitchen, an electric heater in the bedroom, and a gas heater in the bathroom.
Well, what's the idea of all that?
Harriet's going to be warm this winter no matter what John L. Lewis does. But you know, I wasn't in Washington over 5 minutes when the president created a new cabinet post for me. He appointed me minister without portfolio.
Minister without portfolio?
Yeah, how do you like that? A big country like this, and they can't even afford to buy me a briefcase. An important man like me has to carry his lunch in his back pocket.
Well, Snods, I suppose as minister without portfolio, you have to handle some of the government's crucial problems.
That's right. For instance, last week the president of the Fruit Growers Association complained to me that the climate of California is no good for growing bananas.
He said that the climate of California is no good for growing bananas?
Yeah. How could the guy look me in the face and say that? What does he think this is, holding up my glasses? A kumquat?
Wait a minute, I'll take it, Jim. Hello? Yeah, he's here. Who is it, please? Oh, my goodness. Just a moment, Your Worship. Jimmy, the Duke of Windsor, wishes to speak to you.
Does it sound like a touch? Never mind if it is. He is good for it. Give me the phone. Hello, Duke. I got everything arranged for your trip to Hollywood with the Duchess. What? Living quarters? Don't worry about it. I got you the bridal suite. That's right, at the Pismo Beach Motel. Is it a good place? Are you kidding? You get a towel each. Now tell me your plans. What do you and the Duchess want to do when you get here? What? Oh, no. We have too many of those husband and wife programs already. What's that? Pip, pip, cheerio? Thank you, and a Yorkshire pudding to you, too.
Jimmy, you're arranging the Hollywood trip for the Duke and Duchess of Windsor?
A logical choice, after all, Junior. On my last trip to England, you know, the continent.
Yes.
I mingled with all kinds of royalty. Counts and their countesses, dukes and their duchesses, and marquises and their moccasins.
No, Jim, not moccasins.
Well, what is the right word?
Marionnettes. You see, le consort d'un marquis est une martionnette. C'est la forme subjonctive, past participe, de la verbe plus perfect, et dans tous les mots, c'est statistique et bien connu.
How do you like that? Ask a guy a question and he joins the Foreign Legion. Tell me, Gary, where do you pick up these fascinating bits of useless trivia?
In the Encyclopedia Britannica, Jimmy. It's a wonderful book. Haven't you ever read it?
No. I'm waiting for them to make a picture out of it. But, Junior, I got a million of them. But, Junior, where'd you see the banquet I'm planning for the Duke and Duchess? 15 pheasants, 25 venisons, 30 grouse, 50 grouse, and a gross of grease. Grease is the feminine of grouse. Following that, a mongoose on the half shell, and as my piece de resistance, curry of Tootsie Roll. But there's one thing that worries me about the banquet, Junior. What do you do with the olive pits? Do you swallow them or do you hold them in your mouth until you get home?
Jim, there's only one thing to do with olive bits. You take them in your hand, and when no one is looking, you quietly sneak them into the cuff of your trousers.
But suppose it's a formal affair and I'm wearing knickers. Wait a minute, Junior, I've got it. I know what I'll do. I'll hold the olive pits in my right hand, and when the Duke shakes hands with me to say good night,
yes,
I let go.
Oh, wait a minute, Jim. Are you sure you're the right man for this job?
Don't worry about me, Junior. Why, I've mingled with nobility all my life. The last time I was in England, the king wanted to make me Knight of the Garter, and the queen wanted to make me Knight of the Bath. Naturally, I refused.
Jimmy, the king wanted to make you Knight of the Garter, and the queen wanted to make you Knight of the Bath, and you refused?
Yeah. I didn't mind putting on his garter, But a guy's got to draw the line somewhere. Now you know that you can't go wrong. Why you just follow
You can always be sure it's Durante and Moore when you hear a tremendous ovation. And that applause means it's time to pause for Rexall identification.
Rexall is the name of a complete line of top-quality drug products. Yes, Rexall is the name of a complete line of fine drug products sold exclusively in your Rexall drugstores. There is a Rexall drug product for every health need. For aspirin, take Rexall. For vitamins, take Rexall. For a mouthwash, take Rexall. Learn to insist upon Rexall for reliability. The name Rexall is your constant guarantee of safe, sure, pure drug products. The finest that science and pharmaceutical skill can produce. So remember,
to be safe, to be sure that the product is pure when you're buying a drug preparation. Take the clerk to task, step right up and ask for Rexall identification.
Good health to all from Rexall.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Howard Peary, a man whom Don't laugh, don't laugh. Remember, I'm reading from a carbon copy. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Howard Peary, a man of whom we're very proud because of his famous uncle. We all know that Thomas Edison invented the electric light, but Mr. Peary's uncle is the one who showed him how to turn it off.
Wait a minute, Jimmy. Can you prove that?
I sure can. Here's a picture of him right in front of the town tavern. And he's out like a light.
Well, I've never been one to look down my nose at other people's inventions, Jim, but I should just like to call attention to one of my own ancestors, Casanova Moore, a man who invented a device that has since become the very backbone of our social civilization. It was my great-great-great-great-grandfather who first invented the kiss. No sense in your hanging around, madam. My uncle's been dead 200 years.
So what? No man is perfect.
So your uncle invented a kiss, huh, Junior?
Yes, he did.
Well, tell us about it. Meanwhile, I shall bury my head in the razor's edge and listen with a sharp mind.
Well, friends, my uncle, Casanova Moore, was born in England in the year 1525. And up till that time, the kiss had never been thought of. In order to show their love in those days, couples engaged in a form of affection called dipple-dipling. Now, to dipple-dipe, a man put his arm around his girl, gently stroked her lovely hair, looked tenderly into her eyes, and slapped her in the face with a wet herring. Yes, every night my uncle's sweetheart would raise her little face to his and say,
"Oh, Casanova, before you leave me, give me just one more dipple-dipe."
"Very well, my dearest."
"Oh, Casanova, the boneless kind."
But somehow, the more Casanova dipple-diped, the less it seemed like the fulfillment of love's young dream. So then and there, he determined to invent some new kind of embrace. And his first invention he called schmoose-crofting. Now, in schmoose-crofting, the boy would cover his girl's face with brushless shaving cream and blow bits of confetti at her. But this was no good. Every evening, she would end up with her face looking like the floor of the Brown Derby on New Year's Eve. Then he tried another idea, and this he called twack-noodling. Now, twack-noodling sounds like fun, doesn't it? Twack-noodling was really the most daring idea of them all. The boy and girl would sit on the Davenport, turn out the lights, and then whisper into each other's ears, "Artie Shaw." But the world wasn't ready for Uncle Casanova's inventions, so to keep body and soul together, he took a temporary job in a local factory as a pickle taster. And after tasting pickles for 3 years, one day he turned to the girl at the next bench and said, "Come here a minute, Mabel."
"What is it, Casanova?"
"There's only one pickle left, and I want to get home to my experiments. Let's taste this last one together."
"All right. You start at one end, and I'll start at the other."
Little did Casanova suspect that his lifelong ambition was about to be realized. Faster and faster, they ate towards the center of the pickle. Their lips came closer and closer until finally Casanova bit past his half and... Climbing down from the chandelier, Casanova knew that this was what he'd been looking for. He had invented the kiss. So bounding out of the pickle factory, he dashed down the street, kissing every girl he met up with.
Yeah, are you sure you got the right party?
Realizing that he was wasting his time with the little man, he decided to take his ideas to the top. So he called on the King of England, Henry VIII. Confronting him, he said, "Your Majesty, you don't look well. What's the trouble?"
"I'm feeling mighty low."
Here was Casanova's chance. Quickly, he said, "Your Majesty, I have invented a thing called the kiss. Try it once on Anne Boleyn and see what it does to you." So Henry grabbed Anne Boleyn, puckered up, and... Well, King Henry, how do you feel now?
Give me 5 minutes more. Only 5 minutes more.
And so, with King Henry VIII's endorsement, the kiss took its rightful place in the English way of living. And I am proud to say that I have inherited my uncle's proficiency in the art. But just the other day, as I was walking down the street, a man looked at me, and I distinctly heard him say, "Boy, get a load of that kisser."
Thank you, Mr. Moore, for that erudite discussion of osculation. And now, ladies and gentlemen, going from the carbon copy to the one in bold type, our charming chanteuse, Suzanne Ellis, a little lady with pipes of solid gold. I should know. I got a plumber's card. How are you, Susie?
Hiya, Jimmy. And thank you for that lovely introduction. But when it comes to singing, I bow to the master. How do you get those mellow tones in your voice?
That's a Durante secret, Susie, but I'll let you in on it. Every morning I swab my throat with a concoction consisting of 2 parts cayenne pepper, a jigger of creosote, a dash of Chemtune, and a 1.5 pounds of grated garlic.
And does that make you sing?
After that, you gotta sing. If you don't open your mouth, you suffocate. Sing, Susie, sing.
For you, for me, forevermore, it's bound to be forevermore. It's plain to see we found by finding each other the love we waited for. I'm yours, you're mine, and in our hearts the happy ending starts. What a lovely world this world will be, with a world of love in store for you, for me, forevermore. I'm yours, you're mine, and in our hearts the happy ending starts. What a lovely world this world will be, with a world of love in store for you, for me,
Yes, it's good health to all from Rexall. Listen.
for goodness sake, when you've a tummy ache. Deep in your solar plexus, you really should find out how good this Rexall Bismarex is. Bismarex, Rexall Bismarex.
That's right, friends. An acid stomach condition by any other name can feel just as uncomfortable. And whether you call it indigestion, dyspepsia, or heartburn, you'll find the prompt relief you need as well as the prolonged relief you want with Rexall Bismarex. Because Rexall Bismarex contains not one, but 4 laboratory-approved alkalizing antacids. 1 fast-acting alkalizer and 3 slow-acting alkalizers. That's why Rexall Bismarex not only relieves your discomfort promptly, but continues the acid-neutralizing effect for a prolonged period. Just mix 1 or 2 teaspoonfuls in a glass of water and drink. It's a pure peppermint pleasure. Remember, only a Rexall drugstore can sell you
Bismarex, Rexall Bismarex.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, in accordance with time-honored custom, we present our special Thanksgiving opera as performed by that magnificent vocal group, the Durante and Moore, G-Clef, Coffee Clats, and Culture Choir.
In this opera, ladies and gentlemen, I sing for 2 consecutive hours without taking a breath.
Oh, now, wait, how can you sing for 2 hours without taking a breath?
Storage tank in my nose.
Well, in any event, in this Thanksgiving opera, friends, Mr. Durante will appear as Miles Standish, and I shall play the part of John Alden.
Oh, yes. He was the fellow who made all the speeches and ended up with nothing.
That's right, sort of an early-day Democrat.
Yes.
Now, the part of the Republicans the part of the lovely Priscilla will be played by our gal, Suzanne Ellers, and the special choral effects, as always, will be sung by our announcer, Mr. Howard Peary.
Oh, James Melton would just hate me for this.
It's amazing the thing the rain washes down from the mountains.
Quiet, James. Maestro Baggi, overture for the opera.
Our opera tonight deals with one of the greatest love stories ever told. The story of Captain Miles Standish, John Alden, and the lovely Priscilla. It's a peaceful day in the Pilgrim village, but in the hearts of these 3 people, a fateful storm is brewing.
I'm the captain, and my name is Standish. My manners are good, but my face is outlandish. But in spite of my appearance, I'm a mighty big fella.
You can tell he's important by the size of his smeller.
That's me.
That's him.
That's me.
That's him. And I'm John Alden. I'm Standish's pal. I'm the romantic target of every Pilgrim gal. You can tell by my face I'm an early-day Sinatra.
Except for his haircut, and that ain't so hotra.
Tis too.
Tis not.
Tis too.
Tis not.
And I am the heroine. My name is Priscilla. You can tell by my figure I'm a real killer diller. I just passed 21, and that is a fact.
Just past 21?
She must have passed it coming back.
It do.
It not.
It's
hot tar. Hot tar. Hot tar. Hot tar. Listen, John Alden, since you're my pal, I'll tell you right now, I'm in love with that gal. Her skin is like a peach, John, that you can bet.
Yes, just like a peach, sort of fuzzy and wet.
Tis not.
Tis too.
Tis not.
It is too.
I loves the gal, and here's what I'm going to do. I'm leaving the proposing up to you.
You're leaving it to me. Well, aren't you taking a chance?
You double-cross me, Budney will have to take you to the nearest hospital and operate 40 times and remove the lead from your pants.
Uh-oh.
Get her going.
Uh-oh.
Get her going. Hot jar. Hot jar. Hot jar. Hot jar. Now there's an intelligent comment.
And so we find John Alden Moore in Priscilla's living room as Miles Standish Durante listens through an open window.
Oh, Priscilla, Priscilla, my pretty little dove. I've come to your cabin for to speak of love. Now, I know that you're bashful and you're shy by a heck.
Who's bashful, Bud? Come on, let's neck.
Wait a minute. What are you doing? He's getting hot and I'm standing here stewing.
Oh, speak for yourself, John. Don't be dull.
If he speaks for himself, I'll fracture his skull.
Now, wait.
Come on, John.
Now, wait.
Come on, John.
Oh, Priscilla, Priscilla, my shy little elf. I'm a-speaking of love, yeah, but not for myself. Captain Miles Standish is the man for you.
Captain Standish?
How do you do? Madam, I'm making my plea. I'm getting right down on my bended knee. I've got a soft feeling that's making me mellow.
Oh, get up, Miles. You're kneeling in her jello.
Hot tar, hot tar, hot tar, hot tar. There must be some place he could go to be alone. Now tell us, Priscilla, what's your decision? Would you rather be mine or would you rather be his? I'm as strong as the wizard from the land of Oz.
Yeah, but most of your strength has gone to your schnoz.
Has nothing.
Has to?
Has nothing.
It has to. On the other hand, Prissy, if you want to be shrewd, you'll marry with me, because I'm a Hollywood dude. I wear perfume, just like Hetty or Veronica.
It smells like low tide at Santa Monica. Let's do.
Hot shot, hot shot, hot shot, hot shot.
I'll bet he has fun just tying his laces.
I'll tell you, boys, I love you like a mother, but I've already given my heart to another.
You're in love with another?
Who can it be?
Don't be silly. She's marrying me.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
Oh, no. Oh, yes.
She's marrying you. Can that be a fact?
Everybody wants to get into the act.
But you're not good looking, and you've got no dough. What did you say that made her love you so?
I said hot shot, hot shot, hot shot, hot shot.
Him and his big fat education.
This is Howard Petrie again with those four most Rexall reminders for the week. Remember Rexall Bismarex. Remember Rexall is a complete line of top-quality drug products for every health need. Remember Rexall drugs are sold only in a Rexall drugstore. Remember Rexall for reliability. That familiar oval sign, R-E-X-A-L-L, is the surest sign of top quality in drugs and drugstores.
Touche, Professor Petrie, and I'd like to add, I do my shopping at a Rexall store. What I want, they got, and furthermore, Hombre Algo, he prefers them too. We buy Rexall, that's all. How do you do? Let me hear that high note, maestro. What a note.
I know the finality, Mr. Durante.
Know the conclusion, Mr. Moore.
Yeah, Jim, I guess that just about wraps up the tinfoil on tonight's little package. Say, would you care to join me at Ciro's now in a little game of fumbling for the check?
No, thanks, Junior. I've met my master. But if it's a little snack you want, come over to my house. Why, it's common gossip that I brew the best coffee in Beverly Hills.
You do, huh?
Oh, yes. I use only the center section of the bean.
Really?
Let me tell you the secret of coffee making, Junior. You know where the percolator starts to go plop, 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 plop?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you open the top at that point,
yes,
you get it right in the eye.
Good night, Mr. Durante.
Good night, Mr. Moore.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, Mrs. Calabash. Good night.
Well, Rexall for tonight, folks. So goodbye now for Suzanne Ellers, Roy Bargy and his orchestra, yours truly, Howard Petrie.
And Jimmy Durante.
And Gary Moore in person.
So until next Friday, same time, same Columbia station, good health to all from Rexall. This program is produced and directed by Phil Cohan. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
78 years ago, long before I've Got a Secret, November 22nd, 1946, Jimmy Durante and Garry Moore here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Okay, coming up next on the program, the show that Harold Peary did after he quit being the Gildersleeve.
How do you feel when you switch to Geico and save on your car insurance? It's like going to work on one Thursday morning and thinking to yourself, just one more day until Friday. But then somebody in the elevator says, Happy Friday! Then you check your phone quickly and discover today is actually Friday. So yes, Happy Friday, random stranger in the elevator. Happy Friday indeed. Yep, switching and saving with Geico feels just like that. Get more with Geico. How do you feel when you switch to Geico and save on your car insurance? It's like going to work on one Thursday morning and thinking to yourself, just one more day until Friday. But then somebody in the elevator says, Happy Friday! Then you check your phone quickly and discover today is actually Friday. So yes, Happy Friday, random stranger in the elevator. Happy Friday indeed. Yep, switching and saving with Geico feels just like that. Get more with Geico.
The changing of seasons can affect how you feel. 1 in 5 people experience some form of depression, no matter the time of year.
At the American Psychiatric Association Foundation, our vision is to build a mentally healthy nation for all. Visit mentallyhealthynation.org to learn more.
Civil defense is common sense. This is Pat Boone. In case of enemy attack, you must know your warning signals. A steady blast of 3 to 5 minutes means tune your radio dial to 640 or 1240. A 3-minute wavering tone or a series of short blasts, take cover immediately.
We continue with more classic radio theater with Wyatt Cox. As part of the big talent raids, CBS was trying to steal all of the NBC top talent, and they did manage to steal Harold Peary. Peary thought that the folks at Kraft would move Gildersleeve from NBC to CBS, but NBC said no. So they got Willard Waterman to be Gildersleeve, and Peary got his own show, The Harold Peary Show, Honest Harold the Homemaker. And this is from 74 years ago today, November 22nd, 1950, the story of the Thanksgiving play.
The Harold Peary Show. And now, Harold Peary as Honest Harold the Homemaker. Well, the talk of Melrose Springs this week is the big Thanksgiving play, The Courtship of Miles Standish, which is to be given at the local high school. The director and star of this epic drama is none other than the Orson Welles of Melrose Springs, Honest Harold. Well, right now we find our impresario at home having a costume fitting for his role of John Alden.
Almost through, Mother.
Just a minute, Harold. You know, I think these old blue serge trousers are going to make fine knee breeches.
Oh, I guess so. A little tight, but I'll take it easy when I bow.
Hold still now. I'll just pin these pants up. Put a pin in front.
Yeah?
And a pin in back.
Watch it, Mother.
I just know the play will be wonderful with my son directing it and starring in it.
Thank you, Mother. I also rewrote it a little, too.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. My boss, Stanley Peabody, is playing Miles Standish. I cut his part way down.
Harold.
Yeah, and I built up my part of John Alden a little bit. You know, Theodora, the new dancing teacher, is playing Priscilla.
Oh, yes. She's very pretty.
She sure is. I wrote some additional dialogue for my scene with her.
Additional dialogue?
Yeah, I put in a few kisses. Well, better get dressed and get right down to Theodora's Dancing Academy. There's a rehearsal call for our love scene this morning.
There is?
Yeah, I just called it. Yeah. I'll see you later, Mother. Theodora. Gosh, I'm glad she came into my life. Rehearsing with her is going to be lots of fun. I'll make this one of those real kisses. The kind would cost you $2 in a taxi cab. Yoo-hoo, Theodora.
Oh, hello, Angel Kate.
Hello.
How's little old Curly Lashes today?
Curly Lashes?
It was nice of you to come and see your little Theodora.
Well, of course, this is strictly business, Theodora. I came over to rehearse the play. So let's get down to kissing. Business.
All righty.
Of course, I made a few little changes in our scene. The way I got it now, Priscilla and John Alden are sitting on the sofa.
Sofa?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, clever, clever boy.
I thought so. Well, shall we sit down?
All righty.
And, oh, yes, I made one other little change. John Alden kisses Priscilla.
He kisses her?
Uh-huh.
Harold, isn't that going a little far for a pilgrim?
Well, haven't you ever heard of the Pilgrim's Progress? Yes, sir. We'll start the scene with my speech. Priscilla, I, John Alden, speak not for myself, but for my good friend, Captain Miles Standish.
Why don't you speak for yourself, John?
Me?
You're so handsome.
Well.
The most charming man I've ever seen.
Sounds good. Ooh, I wrote that.
You're so masterful. John.
Here it comes.
Why don't you kiss me?
All right. Pucker up, Priscilla.
Oh, there's someone at the door.
Oh, my goodness.
Come in.
Oh, here you are. Howdy, folks.
Pete, the town marshal.
Hope I ain't interrupting anything.
What do you want, Pete?
Well, I wanted to talk to you, boy.
You two big men go right ahead and talk. I'll be in the reception room.
Yeah. All right, Pete. What is it?
You were getting pretty cozy there, weren't you, boy? Priscilla and John Alden smooching on the sofa. That's a doozy.
Now, Pete, what do you want to see me about?
Well, Harold, I'm having trouble with my part in the play. I keep forgetting all that stuff you told me to do.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
Maybe if I put it down in my notebook, I could keep it straight.
Well, all right, but hurry it up.
Now, let's see now. I come in and I say, I am a trapper lost in the wood. I wonder where I am at.
Don't just stand there, Pete. Look around.
Look around? Yeah, let me write that down.
Go on, Pete.
Oh, my. What is that behind the tree?
That's where you take 4 steps.
After I take 4 steps. Let me write that down.
Hurry up, Pete. Now, that's when you see the bear behind the tree.
The bear?
Yeah, remember? Doc Yancey is a bear.
Doc Yancey is a bear. Let me write that down. Now, what comes next, Harold?
Now, that's where the bear growls. Grrr.
How do you spell grrr?
Come on. Pete, will you get on with the scene?
Oh, my. Here comes the bear. Grrr. What'd you say, Harold?
That was me growling.
Oh. Got stomach trouble, boy?
Pete, you're a dope. Why don't you write that down?
You're a dope. Sure, Harold, I can remember that. I'll see you later.
Theodora.
Yes, Harold, coming.
Sorry we were interrupted. Shall we rehearse the scene now?
All righty. John.
Yes, Priscilla.
Why don't you kiss me?
All right. Ye gods, who's that?
Oh, come in.
Oh, hello, Miss Theodora.
Hello, Dr. Yancey.
Hello, Harold.
Hello, Doc. What do you want, you old horse doctor?
Harold, I've been working on my part of the bear all morning, and I've got some wonderful ideas how to play it.
Well, Doc, all you have to do is growl.
Oh, I know, but there's different ways to growl, Harold.
What?
Now, this is an angry bear.
Yeah.
Now, don't let it frighten you, Miss Theodora. I'm just acting.
Come on, Doc.
All right, now here goes.
Oh, that was wonderful, Dr. Yancey.
Thank you. Now, I could also make him a friendly bear like this. Arr, arr. Then there's the melancholy bear whose mates run away and left him. He's real sad, you know. Ow, ow.
No wonder she left him.
And Harold, I had another idea.
What is it?
Well, suppose at the end of the scene, I get up on my hind legs and recite a poem.
A poem?
Yeah. It's a very dramatic poem called The Coward.
Yep.
It goes like this.
Just some other time, Doc.
Jake Simpson was a coward, afraid of people half his size. If a gun went off, he'd run a mile. He was even afraid of flies.
Doc.
But cowards sometimes make heroes. When the town was struck by flood, the women deserted their children, and the husbands ran off in the mud.
Doc!
When the others had fled from the flood, from their wives and their little ones slid, did Jake leave his wife and his family? You bet your life he did.
Doc, that's horrible.
It is? Oh, well, all right, Harold. If you don't appreciate art, it's all right with me. Goodbye, Miss Theodora.
Goodbye, Doctor.
Goodbye, Doctor.
Practice some more.
Well, Theodora, let's...
Hello!
Now, who is that? Oh, my goodness, the Firehouse Four.
Well, hello, folks.
Hello, T.
I brought the boys over, Harold. Thought we might run over our number.
Not now, boys.
What are you cute fire laddies going to do in the show?
Well, ma'am, we come out dressed as Indians and sing shortening bread.
But that's not an Indian song.
That's the only one they know. It took them 5 years to learn that.
But, Harold, we fixed the number so we'll sound like Indians.
What?
You ready, fellas?
Mammy's little baby loves shortening, shortening. Mammy's little baby loves shortening bread. Ugh.
4 Nelson Eddies.
Mammy's little baby loves shortening, shortening. Mammy's little baby loves shortening bread. Ugh.
Indians, I mean
Put
fellas.
on the skillet. Woo! Put on the lid. Woo!
Boys!
Gonna make it in shortening bread.
Ugh. Ooh, yourself. I'm getting out of here. What a morning. Oog. Oh, well. The show isn't on till tomorrow night. Still a lot of time to rehearse with Theodora. Yeah, and I have to laugh when I think of Stanley Peabody playing Miles Standish. He may be my boss at the radio station, but...
Hemp.
Oh, my goodness, speak of Peabody, and there he is.
Hemp, I want to talk to you.
Oh, hello, Stanley. Well, Miles Standish, have you learned your part for the play?
What part?
Huh?
When you first gave me the role, I had 12 pages of dialogue. Now I can put my part on a postage stamp.
And, brother, are you stuck with it?
I am unhappy with my part. Do you hear me?
Hear you? You almost blew me across the street, Stanley.
I notice you gave yourself the best role in the play. John Alden.
John Alden? Oh, that isn't much of a part. Miles Standish is really the star.
Star? Huh. For 4 acts, all I do is fight Indians off stage.
Well, you win, don't you?
And you have all the love scenes with the girl.
Love scenes? Well, what do they mean, Stanley? Nothing. Anybody can do that. But Miles Standish is the role of a lifetime. An actor's dream. And because you're my old friend, Stanley, I gave the part to you.
Hemp, I'm touched. You're a real friend. But I can't let you make this sacrifice. We'll change parts, Hemp.
Huh?
I want you to be the star. And remember, you work for me, Hemp. Now, you're Miles Standish, that's an order.
But...
And I'll play the part of John Alden with all those silly little love scenes.
But...
I know we'll both be very happy with our new parts. Won't we, Miles?
Speak for yourself, John.
We will return for the second act of our story, Honest Harold, in just a moment. Just a little later this evening on CBS, screen star Paul Douglas will visit Bing Crosby, and the two of them will be reminiscing about the good old days. We hope you'll stay with us and be listening when Paul Douglas comes to call on Crosby later this evening.
I will.
The Bing Crosby Show is heard every Wednesday evening on most of these same CBS stations. And now, back to Honest Harold, the homemaker. Well, it is the night before the Thanksgiving play, The Courtship of Miles Standish. But Honest Harold hasn't much to be thankful for. He wound up with the part of Miles Standish, and his boss, Stanley Peabody, is going to do all the courting. Well, right now, we find our disappointed lover at home, just finishing dinner before going to dress rehearsal.
Oh, no, Harold. You mustn't feel bad just because you're not going to play John Alden.
Well...
And you look so distinguished in your Miles Standish costume. Oh, I can just see you standing there, stroking your beard.
Yeah, and while I'm stroking my beard, Stanley will be kissing Theodora.
But that's just in the play. They'll only be acting.
I don't know, Mother. Sometimes these acting romances get out of hand. Look at Errol Flynn.
Harold, I'm sure Theodora prefers you to Stanley.
I don't know, Mother. After all, he's a lot flashier than I am. He's the Chrysler type. What am I? Just a 36 Essex with a bent bumper.
Why, Why don't you call Theodora right now and ask the driver to rehearsal?
Well...
I'm sure she'd be delighted.
Yeah, maybe you're right, Mother. No harm in trying. Sure. Just because Theodora and Stanley are lovers in the play, that doesn't mean anything.
Hello?
Hello, Theodora. This is Harold.
Oh, hello, Angel Cake.
Yeah. Angel Cake, that's sweet. I was just wondering if I could drive you to the rehearsal at the high school tonight.
Oh, you're a darling to ask me.
Oh?
But I can't go with you.
Oh.
I'm going with Cutie Pie Peabody.
Cutie Pie Peabody?
Yes, in his little old Nile Green town and country.
Yep.
I hope you don't mind.
Mind? No, of course not. After all, what am I? Just a 36 Essex.
What?
Don't worry about me. I'll see you at the rehearsal, Miss Theodora. I've lost my Theodora. Here I am with a broken heart and a bent bumper. Quiet, everybody. Quiet. Will you please drop that hammer up on stage? Oop. A little close, too. Thank you. Now, this is the final dress rehearsal of our play, so let's get down to business, folks. First, we'll see if everybody is here. Gloria? Giggling Gloria. Pete?
Here, boy.
Doc Yancey? Firehouse 4. Indians.
Oh, Indians. Okay, fellas.
Yep.
Mammy's little baby loves shortening.
Boys.
Little baby loves shortening bread. Ugh.
That will do. Priscilla and John Alden. Theodora and Stanley. Those are out joyriding in Stanley's town and country. Well, who cares? We'll start without them. On stage, everybody. Where's my megaphone? All right, Raymond. Overture.
Okay, cuz. Take it, men.
That sounds pretty good. That'll set the mood. Yeah, sure. Oh! Heaven's sake! Raymond! Raymond! Cut that out! Stop it!
What's the matter, cuz?
For your information, Raymond, the Pilgrims did not go in for Dixieland.
Oh.
And take that derby off that cornet. We got enough funny hats in this show now.
Okay, cuz.
Now, we'll take the prologue. Pilgrim Maid, Gloria.
Oh, me?
Yeah, yes, you.
Gee, I don't know if I can do this.
Come on, Minnie, ha-ha.
All right. I am just a pilgrim maid.
That's right.
Who came from across the sea.
Good.
Across the sea. Across the sea.
You've crossed the sea 3 times. Now, go on, Gloria.
Oh, and when we landed on the shore, we saw the...
Indians. Indians.
Indians? Okay, fellas.
What?
Mammy's little baby loves shortening.
Oh, quiet.
And when we landed on the shore...
Never mind, Gloria. You'll never make it. We'll take it later.
Stanley.
Uh-oh, Theodora and Stanley.
You say the cutest thing, Stanley Wanley.
Stanley Wanley.
Oh, hello, Ham.
Hello. I hope it wasn't too much trouble for you to attend our rehearsal, Mayor.
Why, Haroldy, Waroldy, I believe you're jealous.
Jealous? I am not. That's ridiculous. Just thinking about the show, that's all. On stage, everybody, immediately.
All right, Harold.
Come on, Theo.
Theo, eh? Certainly getting familiar.
We're ready, Hamp.
We're ready, Hamp. All right, Miss Theodora, Stanley, we'll take your scene from the very beginning.
Oh, we know the beginning. Why don't we start where we sit on the sofa?
On the sofa?
Yes. You know, the part you rewrote.
I hate him.
Priscilla, I have come to speak for my friend.
Why don't you speak for yourself, John?
Me?
John, you're so handsome.
Handsome? I've seen better-looking skeletons than him.
You're so strong. So masterful.
Ah, sneaky imitator.
John. John, my darling.
I can't stand this.
John, why don't you kiss me?
All right.
Cut!
Kemp, I insist on finishing this scene.
Yeah, but I have to rehearse my part, Stanley. Miles Standish.
Your part?
Yes.
All you do is stand off stage and fight Indians.
Indians? Okay, fellas.
Quiet, you fools!
Keep it up, fellas. I'll sing it with you. Bread. Well, show's getting off to a good start. Overture's going fine. I'll just take another peek through this hole in the curtain now. Well, a lot of people out there. Well, Captain Miles Standish, the show must go on. Well, Raymond has finished the overture. This is it. Pull up the curtain. Gloria, where are you?
Here I am.
Oh, well, go out on the stage. You're the prologue.
I feel so silly.
Stop that giggling, Gloria, and get out there.
All right.
Hope she doesn't fall in the footlights. Or do I?
I'm a little pilgrim maid. Oh, hello, Raymond.
Hello, Gloria. Gloria. Psst.
Oh, Harold.
Ye God, she's got the giggles again. Curtain! Yeah, quartet's on next. Where are those Indians? Hey, Firehouse 4.
We're right here, Harold.
Oop! Don't sneak up on me with those moccasins on. Now, don't forget, boys, you back me up on my solo first, then you do shortening bread.
Okay.
Curtain. Come on, boys. Follow me. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Glad you recognized me with this beard. I love you as I never loved before. Since first I met you on the village green. Come to me, or my dream of love is o'er. I love you as I loved you when you were sweet, when you were sweet 16. I love you as I never loved before. Since first I met you on the village green. The village green. Come to me, or my dream of love is o'er. I love you as I loved you when you were sweet. Hey, what's that?
Well, that's the fire bell, boys.
Oh, my goodness, what a time for a fire to break out.
Must be a short circuit at the beauty shop again. Follow me, men.
Boys, Indians.
Hey, we'll break down the doors with our tomahawks.
Fellas! Curtain. All right, next scene, quick. The trapper and the bear. Places? Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready, boy.
How about you, Doc? Okay, curtain. Okay, Pete.
I am a trapper lost in the woods. I wonder where I am at. This is where I look around.
Well, brother, he's doing the stage direction, too.
Oh, my. What is that behind the tree? Take 4 steps. What was that? A bear. A bear.
Go on, Doc. Go on, Doc. Growl.
Oh,
what I'm supposed to say next.
Get off the stage.
Get off the stage! I can't think of a thing. Ain't I the dodo?
Get off of there before you get the bird. Ye gods, will somebody say something?
All right, Harold, I'll save the day.
What?
Jake Simpson was a coward.
Oop.
Afraid of people half his size.
Oop.
If a gun went off, he'd run a mile.
Curtain!
Afraid to fly.
Oh, brother, what a night. Thank goodness it's almost over. Now I've got to watch that courtship scene with Stanley and Theodora that I wrote. Look at her out there at the spinning wheel. Gosh, she looks pretty. How could she be so fickle?
Out of my way. Out of my way, Hemp. I've got to make my entrance.
Oh, hello, Stanley.
Well, Captain Miles Standish, I'm going in and kiss your girl now.
Hope he gets a run in his stocking.
Oh, that must be John Alden now. Come in, John.
Coming, Priscilla.
John!
Priscilla, I must talk to you. Come, sit on the sofa.
Lounge lizard.
All righty. John, you are so handsome in your pilgrim suit.
Handsome. Looks like an ad for Quaker Oats.
You are so strong,
Here comes the kissing scene. I'll close my eyes.
so masterful.
Well, yes, I am. But I, John Alden, speak not for myself, but for my good friend Captain Miles Standish, who waits without.
You said it.
Captain Standish is more handsome, strong, and masterful than I.
He is? Then why don't you send him in?
What?
Come in, Milesy Wilesy.
What's she doing? Say, that's me. Hey, coming, Priscilla.
Theodora, Priscilla.
Kiss me, Miles Standish.
You said it. Step aside, John, old boy.
Just a minute, Hemp. Miles Standish never got the girl. You don't know your Longfellow.
You don't know this short fellow. Pucker up, Priscilla. You go out and fight Indians, John.
Indians?
Mansfield, baby, let's start. Must have been a false alarm. Thank you. Now I'd kind of like to take off my Miles Standish whiskers and be just plain Harold Peary for a moment and introduce to you a very charming lady, the winner of our National Laugh Contest, who came all the way from station WNOX and Knoxville, Tennessee, to be officially crowned Miss Mirthquake of 1950, Mrs. Lena Duncan. That's wonderful, but Mrs. Duncan, that was kind of a puny laugh. I don't think the folks in Knoxville heard that. Oh, I bet they heard that without benefit of radios. Been having a good time here in Hollywood.
I've had a wonderful time.
Oh, that's wonderful. And Mrs. Duncan, it made me very happy that you were our winner.
Thank you, Mr. Perry. It made me happy, too.
Oh? Well, I hope you're still happy because we've led our honored guest a merry chase from the moment she stepped off that TWA plane. Yes, sir. She spent a week at the Hollywood Country Club Hotel. We showed her off at MGM Studios, took her to glamorous Cyril's. She met Amos and Andy Evard and Jack Benny, was on television with our Mr. Jack Meakin, did a broadcast with George Fisher, went to Cyrano de Bergerac premiere and had breakfast with Jimmy Starr this morning, even paid the check. Tired just thinking about it, folks. Life in Knoxville is going to seem just a little humdrum after a week in Hollywood, isn't it?
It'll be good to get home.
It will? Your husband and son, eh? Well, I know that all the folks in Knoxville are mighty proud of you, Mrs. Duncan, and so are we. So at this time, I'd like to officially dub you Miss Mirthquake of 1950 and present you with your scepter.
behalf of our cast, Gloria Holliday, Joe Kearns, Jane Morgan, Parley Bear, Olin Soleil, Mari Alden, Eddie Firestone, Harry Stanton, and the Fireboys, our writers, Gene Stone and Jack Robinson, our director, Norman McDonald, Jack Meek, and our musical director, Dave Light on sound, Joe Swagger, our engineer, Bob Lamond, our announcer. I'd like to thank everybody connected with the promotion of the Laugh Contest. You were wonderful, and wish you all a happy Thanksgiving. Good night, folks.
You have been listening to the Harold Peary Show, Honest Harold. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
The show only lasted one season, and I think you can understand why. 74 years ago, November 22nd, 1950, the Harold Peary Show here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. We'll get back to some crime and fantasy tomorrow with episodes of Mr. District Attorney starring Jay Jostin from 1949, The Case of Free Play, this is an Armed Forces recording, The Hall of Fantasy from 1953, Jim Amici stars in The Masks of Ashore. Dragnet starring Jack Webb from 1952 in The Big Guilt. Ben Morris starring as Pat Novak for Hire from 1947 and the Lydia Reynolds case. And the next episode of Superman. That's all coming up on our Saturday program. Now on Sunday, we'll be back with NBC's Good News of 1939 Thanksgiving program with the Andy Hardy movie cast. We'll also have Point Sublime, a big crowd for Thanksgiving dinner, and the Salad Bowl Review. And that will be with Fred Allen, Dr. Allen of the Bedlam Sanatorium. That's coming up on Sunday. Monday's program will have the new Edgar Bergen Hour with Charlie McCarthy with their guest Jack Benny. Also, Abbott and Costello and their Thanksgiving dinner party. The Aldrich family with their Thanksgiving dance and turkey run. That's coming up on Monday. Tuesday, the 1947 version of Jimmy Durante, sans Gary Moore. Also, Jack Benny doing Thanksgiving at Mary's house. The Mel Blanc Show as Thanksgiving dinner there. And another episode of Father Knows Best. That's all coming up here this week on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Right now, speaking of Father Knows Best, let's hear a program from 1951 next.
How do you feel when you switch to Geico and save on your car insurance? It's like going to work on one Thursday morning and thinking to yourself, just one more day until Friday. But then somebody in the elevator says, Happy Friday! Then you check your phone quickly and discover today is actually Friday. So yes, Happy Friday, random stranger in the elevator. Happy Friday indeed. Yep, switching and saving with Geico feels just like that. Get more with Geico.
Alert Americans will heed history's lessons. Throughout history, surprise has had a leading role in military disasters. Today, an enemy capable of surprise air attack could leave chaos in his wake. That's why you should be in the Civilian Ground Observer Corps, volunteering a few hours a week to guard our skies. Be a ground observer. Contact your local Civilian Defense Office.
We have all sorts of civil defense information in the show notes. Check them out, won't you please? I think you will find some of it interesting, enlightening, and you might be able to use some of it in your own home construction. Right now, Robert Young in an episode of Father Knows Best from 73 years ago today, November 22nd, 1951, the Thanksgiving Prayer.
Mother, is Maxwell House really the only coffee in the world?
Well, your father says so, and your father knows best.
It's Father Knows Best, transcribed in Hollywood, starring Robert Young as father. A half-hour visit with your neighbors, the Andersons, brought to you by America's favorite coffee, Maxwell House, the coffee that's always good to the last drop.
So once in every year we throng, upon a day apart,
to praise the Lord with feast and song in thankfulness of heart. In November of the year 1621, our Pilgrim fathers sat down to a table piled high with the fruits of a bountiful harvest. They offered their thanks in humble reverence and thereby established a precedent that we, the most fortunate people on earth, have followed with joy and gratitude for some 330 years. Thanksgiving Day is an American holiday, typically and exclusively ours. So let's spend the next half hour in the dining room of an average American home, the Andersons, and see how they, an average American family, are celebrating the most American day of the year, Thanksgiving, like this.
Everybody close their eyes.
Well!
Here comes the bird. The turkey!
Boy, am I ever hungry.
There you are. Mother, it's gorgeous.
Put it right down here, honey.
It sure smells good, Mom.
Thank you, dear.
I get a drumstick.
Mother. Bud, keep your fingers out of there.
I just wanted a piece of celery.
Father hasn't said grace.
Oh, excuse me.
Don't forget, I get a drumstick.
All right, Kathy. Go ahead, dear.
You know, I found something very interesting the other day.
Holy cow.
Father, can't you tell us after?
Betty?
This pertains to the grace I'm about to say.
And then I get a drumstick.
I was looking through some old books at the library, and I ran across a prayer of thanks written by Benjamin Franklin in the year 1728. It was very unusual.
Dear, it is getting awfully late.
This will only take a few seconds, honey, and I think it'll do us all a lot of good. Benjamin Franklin divided everything in life into 4 categories, and it's amazing how thorough a job he did. He must have been a remarkable man.
Jim.
For example, in the first section of his Thanksgiving prayer, he gave thanks for the material things of life, such as food and drink and raiment.
What's raiment?
Clothing, dear.
Oh.
And giving thanks for clothing is a very appropriate part of a Thanksgiving prayer. When I think of some of the things that have gone on with clothes in this house.
Jim, I hope you know what you're doing.
I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm getting just a little fed up with dressing in Bud's room.
It isn't that bad.
No, he had all of my neckties, all of my socks, all of my sweaters, and half of my pants.
Are you sure?
Yes, dear, I'm sure. In this house, the first one up isn't the best dressed. He's the only one who can get dressed.
But Bud certainly has enough clothes of his own.
Of course he has. He just likes mine better, that's all.
Dear, don't you think if we told them...
I'm tired of telling them. Wait till they go up there and see a bunch of empty closets. That'll teach them.
Naturally, I think we're right in taking our own things back, but to take all of theirs...
It'll do them good. Maybe they'll learn to respect other people's property.
Mother!
We're home.
Kathy!
I'm here, Daddy.
Good. All 3 of you go upstairs and get ready for lunch.
And Betty?
Yes, Mother?
See that Kathy washes in back of her ears.
Okay.
Wait till they see those closets.
Jim, I think you're being very mean.
I'm just trying to teach them a lesson.
How would you like to open your closet and find all your clothes missing?
Honey, I do it every day.
But every young boy...
And Betty isn't any better. She had 3 of your pocketbooks, 2 unmentionables, 5 pairs of stockings, 4...
Dad!
Here it comes.
Hey, Dad!
Remember, Margaret, you're to let me handle it.
All right, but I still think there's an easier way.
Dad, it's awful. It's terrible.
What is it, son? What's the matter?
My clothes, they're gone.
Well, sit down. Let's see if we can't figure out what happened.
My best gray slacks, they even took those.
Which best gray slacks would those be?
You know, the ones that came with your gray suit.
I see. Your best gray slacks.
And all of my ties, my whole collection.
Which you collected from my closet.
And my sweaters and everything.
Mother!
Jim, I don't think I can go through with it.
I'm practically naked.
Mother!
I just can't.
Honey. What is it, Betty?
We've been robbed. Somebody got in and we've been robbed.
No.
Everything's gone.
Jim, if you don't tell them, I will.
All right, Margaret, I'll tell them. Betty, Bud, your mother and I arranged this whole thing to teach you a lesson.
You what?
Angel, let's not give me too much credit.
Well, you were in on it.
You mean you got somebody to swipe our clothes?
Nothing's been stolen, dear.
You'll find all of your things in our room.
Father!
We just wanted to show you how we feel every morning of our lives.
Dad.
It's gotten so that, well, nothing in our wardrobe is sacred.
Dad.
My best neckties, your mother's cashmere sweaters. You wear them more than we do.
Oh, Father.
Dad.
This was the only way I could figure to impress upon you that from now on you're to leave our things alone.
Dad.
The next time you feel like borrowing a pair of socks or a belt or a pair of your mother's gloves, you'll think twice about it, won't you?
I'll get it.
Dad.
Just a minute, Bud. I want to find out who's at the door.
I know who's at the door.
You what?
We told Kathy to call the cops.
Oh,
Father.
Oh, the grace.
And then I get a drumstick.
Well, in the second part of his Thanksgiving prayer, Benjamin Franklin concentrated on the natural phenomena of life. Things like air and light and fire and water.
Fire is pretty important, isn't it, Mom?
Yes, dear, it's very important.
For stuff like heating up turkeys when they get cold. Huh, Dad?
I'll get to the turkey in a minute. I just want to make sure that you all understand.
Father, after what happened at Blue Paradise last winter, you don't have to worry about us.
We remember about fire and water, all right.
That was quite a day, wasn't it?
I don't think I'll ever get the drumstick.
Well, there it is. Blue Paradise.
You mean that?
Holy cow, Dad. You said it was a great big hunting lodge.
Well, it looked larger the last time I was here.
Jim, are you sure we ought to buy a hunting lodge?
Honey, a bargain like this doesn't come along every day. I know it doesn't look like much from here, but, well, let's go inside.
Will it fall down?
Of course not. Just don't touch any of those braces, that's all.
Boy, what a dump.
It's not supposed to be the Ritz-Carlton. We just want it for weekends and things.
Why do they call it Blue Paradise? Look at those cracks in the wall. You probably turn blue in the middle of the night.
Betty, you can't expect too much for $1,500.
$1,500?
Honey, the view of the lake alone is worth that.
What view?
What lake?
It's a very beautiful lake. All you have to do is walk about half a mile down the road and, well, it's very easy to see it from there.
On a clear day.
But if I hear one more word, honey, look out.
What?
That, the porch is a little weak in spots, but...
Oh.
Go ahead, Bud, open the door.
There isn't any doorknob.
You don't need a doorknob, just push.
Okay.
Jim, do you really think...
Bud!
Grab it.
Hey!
Oh, dear.
Bud, you didn't have to push that hard, did you?
I just gave it a little push.
Well, a couple of new hinges is all it needs.
I've got an idea. Why don't we knock all the doors down and use them for a porch?
Very funny. Are you going in, Margaret?
Well, you only live once, I suppose.
Everything may seem a little rough at first, but you'll get used to it. Well, how do you like it?
It's got a nice foyer. Where's the living room?
This is the living room. Nice and compact, isn't it, honey?
Oh, yes. Yes, if it's anything, it's compact.
It's dirty, too.
Hey, look at this. The closet's got a window in it.
That's the bedroom.
Father, it isn't.
Of course it is. How large do you want a bedroom to be?
Large enough for a bed?
I've got an idea. Why don't we buy it and rent it out to some midgets?
But that isn't funny.
Dear, it is a little small.
You're not supposed to give dances up here. It's a place to relax, get back to nature.
What's in here, Daddy?
That's the kitchen. But I thought we could do all our cooking in the fireplace. That way we can turn the kitchen into another bedroom.
Cook? In the fireplace?
Why not? The pioneers did it all the time.
I see.
This will do us all a lot of good. It might even teach us to appreciate the comforts we take so much for granted at home.
Yes, I can believe that. If it'll do anything, it'll teach us to appreciate comfort.
Isn't there any bathroom?
Of course. You just can't see it from here, that's all.
Daniel.
Who?
Mr. Boone.
Oh. Yes?
If there's any cooking to be done in a fireplace, guess who's going to do it?
Me?
I just wanted to get that straightened out.
Honey, you don't seem to understand. Living the simple life this way can be a great adventure for all of us.
Jim, there is nothing in the world that's more complicated than the simple life.
I've got an idea.
Of course, everybody's got ideas.
We could eat on paper plates, and then we won't have to wash any dishes.
That's the spirit, kitten.
Speaking of washing, I don't see any water.
There's a whole tub of it in the kitchen.
You mean we have to carry it in from a well?
No, you have to bring it up from the lake.
Oh, Jim.
It isn't far. Why, Bud'll get used to doing it in no time at all.
Me? But you said it's a half a mile.
Dear, this is another thing we've got to straighten out. I'm not going to let a young boy like Bud carry heavy pails of water up here from any lake.
But the pioneers... Honey, it won't hurt him to carry a few buckets of water. And besides, if I'm going to cook, I won't have the time.
I've got an idea.
You too?
You can do it every morning, right after you chop the wood.
What wood?
For cooking. Remember, dear? Like the pioneers?
Margaret, if you're trying to discourage me...
Why, Jim, I think living the simple life will do you a lot of good.
You do?
Of course. You'll get up early every morning and get your lungs full of good, clean air.
While we're breathing that old stale stuff in the bedroom.
Betty, please. Then you'll run briskly down to the lake for water.
After you chop some wood.
And build a fire.
Like the pioneers.
Then you'll clean and fill the kerosene lamp.
Wait a minute. Why do I have to do it all?
You're the one who wants a hunting lodge.
I know, but...
I think you're going to enjoy it. Cooking our breakfast and lunch and dinner.
And chopping some more wood.
And carrying some more water.
Like the pioneers.
Say, I've got a great idea. Let's go home.
Well, it didn't take much to convince Father that there's no place like home. And that's especially true today, as families the country over get together to celebrate Thanksgiving Day and the many things we have to be thankful for. We Maxwell House people, for instance, we're happy that our coffee is America's favorite brand. Happy that in so many homes, Thanksgiving dinner means a pot of Maxwell House coffee brewing on the stove, as well as the turkey in the oven and the pumpkin pies cooling on the shelf. We take a lot of pride in our coffee, and we want you to know you can count on Maxwell House every cup you pour. We'll keep it always good to the last drop on Thanksgiving Day and every day of the year.
Let's see now, where was I?
You were going to say grace?
Not yet, Bud. I haven't finished telling you about Benjamin Franklin's prayer. There are 2 more sections.
Isn't that nice? Only 2 more.
Dear, maybe I'd better put the turkey back in the oven.
But it won't take more than another minute.
And then do I get the drumstick?
You can have both drumsticks.
Oh, boy!
Hey, wait a minute.
Your father's only joking, dear, aren't you, Jim?
You know, if it weren't for all this talk, I could have been through telling you about it 2 minutes ago.
Yes, dear.
The trouble with this family is everybody wants to talk and nobody wants to listen.
You're so right, dear.
Anytime I... What did you mean by that?
I was agreeing with you.
Oh. Well, anyway, in the 3rd section of his Thanksgiving prayer, Franklin went into the intangible things of life, such as literature and the arts. You know, there aren't many people today who realize how grateful we should be for the pleasures we get from books and things like that.
You mean Benjamin Franklin had comic books?
Kathy, this will probably amaze you, but there are other kinds.
Oh, that's right.
What a knothead.
That'll be enough of that, Bud.
Yes, ma'am.
What about the 4th section, Father?
I haven't finished with the 3rd.
That's what I was afraid of.
When Franklin referred to the arts, he was expressing gratitude for the pleasures we receive and also for the help. Wait a minute, haven't we gone through all this before?
Oh, yes, Father.
You bet, Dad.
I don't remember anything like this. Oh, I don't.
It was something about Ivanhoe. Your mother was getting ready to do her canning and... Yeah, it was about Ivanhoe, all right.
Schools. A lot of good schools are.
You said it.
I wouldn't care if they taught you something important.
You said it.
But all that junk they make you study.
You said it.
Why don't you keep still?
I'm on your side.
Well, get over on her side.
Okay, but just because you got a C in English doesn't mean that it isn't important.
You said it.
I thought I told you to keep still.
You told me to get on her side.
Bud.
You said it.
Kathy, wait until I say something.
Okay.
It doesn't make any difference what you intend to be. A knowledge of literature is one of the finest things a person can have.
Now?
All right.
You said it.
Just because you think you're an actress.
That has nothing to do with it. Literature is the principal difference between animal and man.
And girls, too.
Kathy, why don't you keep out of this?
Can't I be on anybody's side?
Well, what's going on in here?
Hiya, Dad.
Father, will you do something about Bud?
Oh, I don't know. He seems like a nice enough fellow. Maybe we'll let him hang around a little while longer. What do you think, Kitten?
You said it.
But he thinks they ought to change the whole school system just because he got a C in English.
I do not.
Yes, he does, Daddy. That's what he said.
I didn't either.
Oh, you did, too.
Just a minute, both of you. Betty, what's this all about?
Bud thinks English is a waste of time.
No, I don't. But why should I get a C just because I don't like Ivanhoe?
It's part of your course, isn't it?
Well, sure, but what good is Ivanhoe if you want to be an engineer or something?
Well, you'll find, son, that a knowledge of the classics will always come in handy.
That's exactly what I told him. And Ivanhoe is wonderful.
He's a jerk.
Bud.
He is, Dad. The jams the guy gets into for no reason at all.
You know, Bud, it's been a long time since I studied Ivanhoe, but I still remember it. On his bold visage, middle age had slightly pressed its signet sage, yet had not quenched the open truth and fiery vehemence of youth. Right, Betty?
Father, that's from The Lady of the Lake.
They're both Sir Walter Scott, aren't they?
Well, yes, but...
Bud, you'll find as you grow older that there's no substitute for a sound literary background. For example, Mr. Gribble came up with a quotation at the Chamber of Commerce luncheon the other day. I stood in Venice on the Bridge of Sighs. He was very pleased that I recognized the line from Shakespeare.
Father...
Betty, I'm trying to explain to Bud...
But that isn't Shakespeare. It's Lord Byron.
That is Shakespeare. It's from The Merchant of Venice.
I'm sorry, Father, but it's from Childe Harold's Pilgrimage. Don't you remember? I stood in Venice on the Bridge of Sighs, a palace and a prison on each hand.
That's right, now that you mention it.
Dad, if I don't like this stuff, why do I have to learn it?
Because it's very important. And if you don't believe me, here's a quotation that proves it. The arts are known as the stepping stones to success. Right, Betty?
Right.
There. Now, if you'll excuse me...
But, Dad...
I'm sorry, Bud. I promised to help your mother with her canning.
You mean I have to keep on reading Ivanhoe?
You'll read it and like it.
Holy cow.
How am I supposed to remember things like that? Haven't looked at a copy of Ivanhoe in 25 years. 25 years?
Jim, you won't ever learn, will you?
About what, honey?
You can't get mixed up in those school things with the children.
I got out of it, didn't I?
Just because you were lucky enough to remember a quotation.
Well?
Whose quotation was it?
What, dear?
Who said it originally?
Oh, I did.
What was that, Father?
We'd better not go into it right now.
If it's the same thing I'm thinking of, you'd better stick to the turkey.
You're so right. Well, in the last section of the Thanksgiving prayer...
Hey, we're in the stretch.
Bud.
I'm sorry, Dad.
Oh, I don't mind. I can sit here all night.
Father, please. We won't say a word, will we, Kathy?
All I can think of is the drumstick.
All right. In the fourth and final section of his prayer, Benjamin Franklin covers the balance of our earthly benefits, not the least of which is health. And while we've all been blessed with remarkably good health through most of our lives, there have been times when, well, we've had our anxious moments, haven't
we? Jim, I don't know what to do.
We've done everything we can, honey.
But she looks so small and pitiful.
She isn't gonna die, is she, Dad?
Of course not.
Gosh, if anything happens to her...
Bud?
I'll get it, Dad.
It's probably the doctor, honey. Now, pull yourself together like a good girl.
My poor little Kathy.
Margaret, that isn't going to help her at all. We've got to be strong, both of us.
Oh, Jim.
Dad, it's Dr. Simmons.
There you are, honey. The doctor's here, and he'll take care of everything.
Dr. Simmons?
Hello, Margaret.
Do you want to go right upstairs, Doc? It's Kathy.
In a minute, Jim. What seems to be the trouble?
We don't know.
Why don't you go upstairs, Doctor? She's awful sick.
We'll take care of her, Bud. Margaret, when did it start?
I don't know.
She was okay this morning.
Bud, please.
She came home at... Well, it was 4, I think, and she looked very white and... Oh, Jim.
Oh, honey. Has she complained of any pains in her back or her legs?
We haven't been able to get her to say anything. She just lies there.
Any temperature?
She's hot and cold and... Oh, my baby.
Alone, Jim?
No, Betty's up there with her.
Well, I'll go up and take a look. You'd better come too, Margaret.
Doctor, if anything happens to my baby...
You've got to stop thinking that way. Nothing's going to happen.
Gosh, it makes you feel kind of weak inside, doesn't it, Dad?
Yes, inside and outside and all over. It makes you feel weak and small. So many things you want to do and you can't do any of them.
You never think of anybody like Kathy getting sick. She's always been so healthy and strong.
I know.
Heck, she can lick any kid on the block.
She'll lick this too, Bud. She's got to.
Dad, if she gets... when she gets well, I'll never pick on her again as long as I live.
That's fine, son.
I'll never call her a knothead or squirt or noodle nose or... Have you got a handkerchief?
I think so. There you are.
Thanks. Here you are, Dad.
You may keep it.
Thank you.
Father.
We're right here, Betty.
Do they want us?
No, they made me go out.
Oh.
I didn't want to, but... Oh, Father, she's so sick.
I know.
Want to borrow my handkerchief?
I have one. She just lies there, and I've been so mean to her.
No, dear, you've been a wonderful sister.
I haven't. Last week I smacked her because she spilled my perfume.
Well...
I don't care about the old perfume. I just want Kathy to get well.
She will, sweetheart. We've all said our little prayers. We've all got her very close to our hearts. She'll be all right.
She's such a sweet child.
She's a good ball player, too.
Your mother and I have gone through this a great many times with both of you, as well as Kathy. When you're married and have children of your own, you'll do the same thing.
Boy, what a thing to look forward to.
It balances, Bud. A few short moments of worry and anxiety, and then long, happy hours for all of us. That's the way it goes. Doesn't it, Betty?
I wish I hadn't smacked her.
You'll smack her again.
Father, how can you say that?
If she smacks Kathy, I'll smack her.
I wouldn't dream of touching her.
Well, we'll see.
Jim?
Doctor, is she all right?
Is she gonna live?
Of course she's going to live. She'll be up and around in no time at all.
Oh.
My poor little sister.
Boy.
Wasn't anything to get excited about in the first place.
It wasn't anything serious?
Of course not.
What was it?
Well, technically, I suppose you'd call it multi-caldare canini. That's about as close as I can get to the Latin.
Canini?
Right. Translated roughly, that means too many hot dogs.
Hot dogs?
You mean that's all that was wrong with her?
Just 8 hot dogs.
Why, the little knothead.
You can go up if you like.
Wait till I get my hands on her, scaring me like that.
I asked her to lend me a quarter, and she wouldn't, but she had enough for 8 hot dogs.
Wow. It's a great life, isn't it, Jim?
You said it, Doc. It's a great life. Yes, we've worried and fretted, but we've always come through all right, haven't we?
Daddy?
Yes? I mean, I'm sorry, Kathy. What is it?
I changed my mind. May I have a wing?
Kathy.
What a beetle brain.
Bud.
But I looked at it so long I got tired of drumsticks.
Jim, now?
Yes, dear. We'll have Benjamin Franklin's Thanksgiving prayer right now. For peace and liberty, for food and raiment, for corn and wine and every kind of healthful nourishment. Good God, I thank thee. For the common benefits of air and light, for useful fire and delicious water. Good God, I thank thee. For knowledge and literature and every useful art. For my friends and their prosperity, and for the fewness of my enemies. Good God, I thank thee. For all thy innumerable benefits, for life and reason and the use of speech, for health and every pleasant hour. My good God, I thank thee.
Amen.
Could this be you after Thanksgiving dinner?
Oh, honey, I don't want to eat again for a week.
But tomorrow it'll be a different story.
This is the most delicious coconut cream pie I ever ate. Can I have another piece? Huh?
And delectable coconut cream pie is a breeze to make with new Jell-O coconut cream pudding and pie filling. There's nothing to add but milk. And it's Jell-O coconut cream pudding and pie filling for red letter desserts.
Thanksgiving comes only once a year, but some good things we can enjoy every day. For example, when it comes to truly good coffee, with a flavor you enjoy cup after cup, you can count on Maxwell House every time. It's the one coffee that's always good to the last drop. Join us again next week when we'll be back with Father Knows Best, starring Robert Young as Jim Anderson with Roy Bargay and the Maxwell House Orchestra. In our cast were Norma Jean Nilsson as Kathy, Jean Vanderpyle, Rhoda Williams, Ted Donaldson, and yours truly, Bill Foreman. So until next Thursday, good night and good luck from the makers of Maxwell House. Father Knows Best was transcribed in Hollywood and written by Ed James.
Mr. Keene, Tracer of Lost Persons, brings you Mystery tonight on NBC.
From 73 years ago, November 22nd, 1951, Father Knows Best here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. It seems that, at least in the old days, no one was more grateful than an immigrant. And that's what we'll hear today, Giving Thanks, with J Carrol Naish and Life with Luigi.
How do you feel when you switch to Geico and save on your car insurance? It's like going to work on one Thursday morning and thinking to yourself, just one more day until Friday. But then somebody in the elevator says, Happy Friday! Then you check your phone quickly and discover today is actually Friday. So yes, Happy Friday, random stranger in the elevator. Happy Friday indeed. Yep, switching and saving with Geico feels just like that. Get more with Geico.
Civil defense is common sense.
This is Boris Karloff. No one can guarantee the survival of every home during a nuclear war, but a strong civil defense can save millions of lives. Make sure that yours is one of them. Learn how to protect your home. Call Civil Defense today.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, we go back 75 years, November 22nd, 1949. J Carrol Naish, starring in Life with Luigi.
We invite you to enjoy Life with Luigi, a new comedy show created by Cy Howard and starring that celebrated actor, Mr. J Carrol Naish, with Alan Reed as Pasquale. Pasquale left Italy to start his new life in America. He promised his mother that he would write and tell her about his adventures. So now let's read Luigi's letter as he writes to Mama Basco in it.
Dear Mamma Mia, right now everybody in this country is celebrating a Thanksgiving. This is a holiday, right American man, the butcher. Mamma Mia, I wish you could be here now to see how everybody is so friendly and nice and happy. When you walk down the street now, everybody's got a big smile on their face, except maybe a few turkeys. The reason the day is not happy is because Thanksgiving is to celebrate the landing of the Pilgrims. When the Pilgrims is the first to come here, they was looking for something to eat, so they shot the wild turkeys. Of course, most of the housewives wish the Pilgrims would have shot the pork chops. Because that's 30 cents a pound cheaper. But so far, Mamma Mia, I'm got no plans for my Thanksgiving. But I'm sure my friend Pasquale, he's going to invite me to his spaghetti palace for private dinner tomorrow night. After all, no matter how mean Pasquale is actor sometime, underneath he's got a heart as big as his daughter Rosa. Well, I finish this letter later because it's the time I should have gone out to my night school class. Mamma Mia, I wish you could see my beautiful teacher, Miss Spaulding. She's got a blonde hair, blue eyes, nice. Well, so far this year, I'm never come late to class.
Quiet, class, please. I'll call the roll. Mr. Basco?
Here.
Mr. Horowitz?
Here.
Mr. Olson?
Here.
Mr. Schultz?
Gobble, gobble.
Mr. Schultz, I presume you're imitating a turkey.
Gobble, 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 gobble.
All right, Mr. Schultz, control yourself.
Impossible. In this season, a turkey has got to lose his head.
Well, Mr. Schultz, since you're so full of the holiday spirit, perhaps you can answer some of the history questions I've prepared about Thanksgiving.
Me and my big mouth.
You may tell us, what year did the Pilgrims arrive in America?
Miss Spaulding, that question is so simple, I'm ashamed to answer it.
Well, all right. What year did the Pilgrims arrive?
1776.
1776? Mr. Schultz, you should be ashamed of yourself.
That's what I said. I'm ashamed to answer it.
All right, class. Now, who can give me the correct date?
1789, 1812, 1492,
1620. Shift.
Mr. Schultz. Mr. Olson, you had the correct date.
I didn't hear him say 1492.
Mr. Schultz, the answer is 1620. Now, Columbus came here about 125 years before the Pilgrims. There's absolutely no connection between those two events.
No connection? Miss Spaulding, what are you saying? If Columbus hadn't discovered America, the Pilgrims would have got here in 1620, stepped off the boat, and fell right into the ocean.
Please. Now, class, does anybody besides Mr. Olson know the name of the boat that brought the Pilgrims here? Oh, come now. The name of the boat is Mr. Horowitz?
The name of the boat is Mr. Horowitz.
No. I'll give you a hint. It begins with May. The May.
I know. The maypole.
No.
Miss Spaulding, if you wish, I could tell you the name of the boat, the day they left, how many people was in it, and exactly where they landed.
Himmel, a British spy.
Miss Spaulding, are you going to have a nice big turkey tomorrow night?
Why, yes, Mr. Howard.
Good.
Every Thanksgiving, I take a train ride home and enjoy a real Thanksgiving dinner with my family.
Miss Spaulding, there's nothing like being home with your loved ones on Thanksgiving.
Young Benjamin, you should see the turkey my wife is making with cranberry jelly and candied yams. Oh, so juicy.
Mr. Basco, you haven't said anything. Where are you celebrating Thanksgiving?
Me? I'm having a dinner with my countryman Pasquale. He's invited me to eat with him. He's going to be so much food. He's told me he's going to have the biggest turkey in the town. Yeah, Rosa. You forget, Pasquale. Come on and eat with me.
Esther and me would be very happy to have you eat with us. Come on, Luigi, will you? Luigi, I would be honored if you helped us eat our turkey.
Now, stop, everybody. If Luigi has got to get indigestion tonight, I got first call. Now, please, everybody, thanks for inviting me. But, well, Pasquale is brought to me here from the old country. He's a watch after me. He's know my family, and I want to very much to eat with him.
Mr. Schultz, Mr. Basco has his mind made up. Let him eat with Mr. Pasquale.
All right, Luigi. But one thing I got to warn you to look out for. What, Schultz? When you sit down by the table and Pasquale offers you the appetizer, take. When he gives you the soup, take. And the turkey also, you take. But when he points to Rosa and says, Luigi, take some stuffing, that's the time to go on a diet. Luigi, wait for me. Oh, sure, sir. Oh, listen to me. I'm puffing like the last donkey on the mule train. Listen, Luigi, I didn't want to say nothing in class, but you didn't fool me. What? I could tell the way from you was talking that Pasquale didn't invite you for Thanksgiving. Oh, but sure, sir. He's just forgot. I'm sure he's going to invite me. When? On Christmas? Now, look, why don't you come and eat with me and my happy little family, huh? Oh, what fun we got. Around the table, we got me, my wife, my 3 children, my brother Ludwig, my cousin Hugo, my uncle Chuck, his 6 kids, my 3 nephews, my grandfather Wolfgang, his girlfriend, and the rest of the family. No, thank you, Schultz. Besides, there's too many people for one to thank. Oh, no, stop. This year we got a turkey twice as big as last year. How big is it? 6 pounds. But, Schultz, how is it possible for so many people to eat the one smaller turkey? Who eats? All night long we got the wishbone party. We all sit around and wish for a bone. Oh, smile, Luigi. I'm just making fun. Schultz, you're such a good friend to worry about me. But I'm sorry, I'm going to say no. Yeah, but Pasquale didn't invite you yet. Schultz, I'm no Pasquale. He's purposely not invited me because he wants I should ask him before he's asking me. So when he's invited me, it's going to sound like I was begging him when all the time I'm going to... No, stop. You're getting me all verschimmeled. Well, I got to go now, Luigi, but if Pasquale don't invite you, don't be ashamed. Come to me, huh? All right, Schultz. And smile, Luigi, smile. Remember, a smile is just like glass wax. You wipe it on, you wipe it off. So be like me, always laughing. Oh, my woman. I'm sure Pasquale is going to invite me. But maybe not. Maybe yes. Could be no. I'm better stop. I'm getting myself all up for shimmel.
Luigi, my friend. Hello, Luigi. Hello.
Hello, Pasquale. Hello.
How's it with you, eh?
All right.
Hey, what are we laughing about?
But I guess it's the holiday spirit of Pasquale.
Holiday? Oh, yes. Well, if you excuse me, Luigi, I'm going to go back and see how my turkeys are coming along.
Oh, it's Pasquale.
Huh? What do you want, Luigi?
Happy Thanksgiving, Pasquale.
Same to you. Goodbye.
Pasquale.
What?
Thanks for bringing me to America.
Don't thank me. Thank the boat.
Hey, Pasquale.
Huh?
Is a big turkey?
You should have seen it. That's a reminder me, Luigi. I was thinking to ask you something about it tonight.
Pasquale, your answer is a yes.
Good. We send out the wedding invitations right away. You said a yes. I'm a witness. I was asking you to marry my daughter, Rosa.
Pasquale, please, not talk to Rosa now. Let's talk a turkey.
Luigi, when I'm talking to you about a Rosa, I'm talking a turkey.
Well, Pasquale.
But the nut. Oh, Luigi, you should have seen how it was a waddle around yesterday on those two big fat legs.
Rosa?
No, the turkey. Look, Luigi, she's crazy for you. Why you don't sneak up behind her, put your hands around her neck and give her a nice big kiss?
The turkey?
No, Rosa.
Pasquale, please, I was coming to your store to talk about it Thanksgiving.
All right. I'm going to give you something to be thankful about. You marry my Rosa, I'm going to give you a cash reward.
Cash reward?
Yes, it's what they call in America diary. On your wedding night, I'm going to give you $1,000. Roses weigh 250 pounds. That's mean you're getting $4 a pound.
But Pasquale,
$4 a pound, Luigi. Think of it. That's twice as much as England is pay for the pound. Well, what do you say, Luigi? Say yes, you got $1,000 on the barrel ahead. Well?
Pasquale, keep your barrel ahead.
Oh, Luigi, you are sorry specimens of a human being.
Huh? What do you mean, Pasquale?
After all, without me, you wouldn't be in America.
Well, Pasquale, I'm grateful to you for that.
You wouldn't be able to enjoy the four freedoms. Freedom from poverty, ignorance, fear, freedom from want. What more could you ask for?
Fifth freedom from Russia.
All right, you're smart. Well, tomorrow night you also going to enjoy a sixth freedom.
What's that?
Freedom from my turkey. Good night.
And now for the second act of Luigi Basco's adventures in Chicago, we turn to page 2 of his letter to his mother in Italy.
And so, Mamma Mia, it's now Thanksgiving evening. Everybody is suddenly acting so nice and friendly. It's wonderful. But I'm feeling a little lonely. Mamma Mia, you see, Pasquale is not inviting me. Oh, excuse me, Mamma Mia. Maybe it's Pasquale coming in now. Come in.
Hello, Mr. Basco. Here's your evening paper.
Oh, thanks, Danny. Hey, you sell a lot of papers tonight?
Well, not so good, Mr. Basco. You know, everybody's rushing around. They ain't got no time to read tonight.
All right, then I buy extra paper.
Why, you don't have to.
That's all right. I'm going to wash the floor tomorrow. Hey, Danny. Hey, it's 6 o'clock. Ain't you having no Thanksgiving dinner tonight?
Well, you know I ain't got no folks, and my uncle's working a late shift tonight.
Oh, ain't too bad.
Ain't you having no Thanksgiving dinner?
No.
Well, happy Thanksgiving, Mr. Basco.
Well, happy Thanksgiving, Danny. Hey, Danny, why you rush? Sit down. Maybe we talk a little bit, huh?
Well, I'd like to, but I gotta sell these papers. They're the late edition.
What if they're already late? It don't matter if they're going to be a little later.
Hey, what's the matter, Mr. Basco? You look a little beat.
Beat?
Yeah, on the ropes.
On the ropes?
You know, pooped.
On the ropes, beat the poops. Hey, sometimes I'm thinking they teach different English in a night school and a day school.
It means tired.
Oh, so that's the poops. Well, Danny, maybe that's how I'm feeling. And also maybe a little bit to lunch.
Boy, I know that feeling.
Hey, Danny, how's about do you eat a supper with me tonight, huh? You'll be my guest.
Gee, you got a turkey?
No, but I'm going to buy one. All ready to eat.
Okay, you got a deal.
Huh?
I said you got a deal.
Danny, you're too young to play cards.
I mean, okay, I'll eat turkey with you.
Oh, well, that's good.
Boy, this is going to be fun.
Yeah, Danny. It's like magic. Two lonely people, presto. One little party.
Hey, wait a minute. I got to sell all these papers first.
Hey, Danny, I'm got another idea. You help me eat the turkey, I'm helping you sell the papers.
Well, that's Jake with me.
Oh, you got your friend Jake with you.
just means okay.
Good. Well, here, you give me half of your papers. Hey, but now, what am I supposed to yell?
Well, anything, as long as you get them to buy a paper. Well, it's easy.
Huh?
Listen.
That's English?
Try it.
How is it that?
Great. I didn't understand a word you said. Come on.
Hey, mister, is that the last edition?
No, I'm got 3 papers left.
I mean, is that the morning paper?
Huh? How could it be the morning paper if it's still a night or not?
Are you kidding? I always get my morning paper the night before.
You mean before something is happening, you already reading about it?
Never mind. Let's have a paper.
Sure. Happy Thanksgiving to you.
Hey, Mr. Basco, how you doing?
Fine, Danny. I've only got the 1 paper left.
Well, I only got 1, too. Well, hurry up and sell it.
Oh, I gotta hurry. Wait a extra. The president is a declared war. You want a paper?
Did you say the president declared war?
Sure, here's the paper.
Okay, here. Hey, where does it say the president declared war?
Well, right here, you see. President declares the war on the prices. Happy Thanksgiving, mister. Well, I'm a sold it at the paper. At the
Well, how you doing, Mr. Basco?
Well, sold it, Danny. All is sold. Come on, Danny. Now we go to the store to buy the turkey. Hey, where the get to you turkey?
Yeah, can I do something for you?
Please, I'm interested to buy that roasted turkey you got in the window. How much is it cost?
$18.
Mamma mia.
Wow.
Please, maybe you got a little smaller one?
Well, how much did you want to spend?
$2.
Are you kidding? No self-respecting turkey would take his feathers off for less than $10.
But I never thought the turkeys would cost us so much.
Look, mister, you're not buying just a raw bird. That $18 turkey in the window would cost so much because we clean it and dress it.
You clean it and dress it?
Yeah. Looks beautiful, don't it?
Hey, look, mister, I'm still got $2. Give me a turkey that ain't going to a party.
You're joking.
I'm not.
Mr. Basco, you want my dollar?
No, Johnny. No, Danny. Here. Please, mister, we like it to celebrate the Thanksgiving. What we can buy here for $2?
Well, come on over here. We'll see what we
It smells good, huh, Danny?
Good.
Such a beautiful hot dogs. Hey, Danny, we got everything under the table?
Yeah, baked beans, bread, a potato salad, coleslaw, pickles, spud nuts, and milk.
Mamma mia, what the feast. Happy Thanksgiving, Danny.
Happy Thanksgiving, Mr. Basco.
Well, I'm beginning to carve now.
Mr. Basco, how can you carve a hot dog? It's not a turkey.
Hey, Danny, you know what's inside a hot dog?
No.
Anybody else know what's inside a hot dog?
No.
Well, I'm a no. It's a turkey. Now, which part do you want, Danny? White meat or the black meat?
Well, you're the host, Mr. Basco. You take first pick.
Oh, no, Danny, you're my guest. Please.
All right. I'll take the dark meat.
Good. That's the only kind we got. Well, Danny, here. You take one drumstick, I'm going to take the other drumstick.
Okay. This is good. Pass some mustard.
You mean the cranberry sauce?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wait, Danny. Here's your champagne.
Oh, the milk.
Look at the vintage, Danny. Sparkling Guernsey, 1929. What is it to you, Hal? Alley-up?
Alley-up. What's so funny?
The bubbles is a tickle in my nose.
Huh?
Ain't this a wonderful Thanksgiving dinner, Danny? Is there anything else you could want?
Well, yeah.
What's that?
I wish we had turkey.
Oh. Danny, I don't know how you feel. But let me tell you something. Lots of things in life is depend on how you look on them. How you feel about them. Like they say, it's what's in your mind.
In your mind?
Sure. Everything depends on the way you think. You want to be big, you are big. You want to be king, you can be a king. Of course, that's not so good. You never know how long you're going to last. But, Danny, look on that chair over there. Ain't that the most beautiful sofa, most expensive material that you ever saw?
Huh?
Look hard and think.
Yeah.
And look on those walls. Queen of forest, Danny. Beautiful trees. Blue sky. Most wonderful spot that you ever saw.
Yeah.
And now look on the table, Danny. Look. Ain't that the most beautiful feast anybody could ever have, no matter how much money they would spend?
Mr. Basco.
Yes, Danny.
Can I have the wishbone? Oh, boy, what a meal that was.
Yeah, I'm so full I'm a good bust. Hey, you know, I'm glad that Pasquale didn't invite me to his dinner.
Well, why didn't he, Mr. Basco?
Well, we just have a difference of opinion.
How much of a difference?
250 pounds. Well, Danny, it's late now. You better go home and go to sleep.
Okay, Mr. Basco, and thanks for everything. You know, last year some society people threw a Thanksgiving party for the newsboys. Well, I hated it. Nothing but a bunch of stuffed shirts.
Stuffed the shirts?
Yeah.
That's a strange country. And at Thanksgiving, besides the stuffing the turkeys, they also stuff the shirts.
Well, good night, Mr. Basco. I had a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Me too, Danny. Whew. Oh, my, I'm so full of a Thanksgiving. I'm not going to touch a bite to the Christmas.
Luigi, you should be ashamed of yourself.
How do it?
Schultz told me Pasquale didn't invite you. So here, my wife has to send you a turkey leg with all the trimmings.
But how do it?
No talk, you look starved. You got to eat.
How do it?
Eat.
Ooh. I feel like my stomach is a wet ton. The hot dogs. Then the Horowitz turkey.
Oh, Luigi, just as I thought, you are all alone.
Oh, sure, I'm all alone, but believe me, it's not like you think.
Schultz told me Pasquale didn't invite you, so I brought you some turkey in this bag.
Oh, sure, please.
Stop begging. I'll have the food ready here in a second. Yeah, come on, now eat this.
I'm feeling so full. I'm going to hardly stand up. I think I'm better lock up my door.
Luigi, my fellow boober, happy Thanksgiving.
All it depends. Sure, so what's in that the big bag?
Turkey! Oh! You're going out of your mind from hunger. You poor little hermit. You were sitting here praying your friend Schultz would walk in with a turkey, huh?
Schultz, from now on, anybody who's walking is look like a turkey.
Well, eat!
Please, my insides.
Don't tell me I can see. Starvation is already bloating up your stomach. Come on, I feed you myself. Come on, I feed you myself. Come on, open up the mouth wide.
That's the 3 turkeys. The hot dogs. I'm not going to move. I'm not going to take off my clothes. I think I'm going to sleep right under the table.
Luigi! Oh, poor Luigi. Look, laying on the floor, weak from hunger. Oh, fella, he's a hiccup from an empty stomach. Luigi, I was a mean man, but I'm going to make up to you.
Pasquale, please, be mean. Don't make up to me.
Luigi, you saying that because you're angry with me, and I'm to blame.
No, Pasquale, I'm not angry. I'm sick.
You're sick? Only one thing to cure that, the fool.
Oh, no.
Luigi, I apologize for the way I'm treating you, but I brought you something to cheer you up.
Turkey?
No, Rosa.
That's the first time in my life I'm glad to see Rosa.
Good, then I'm a call her in. Rosa! Rosa! Rosa!
You called me, Papa.
I'ma call you my little pumpkin pie. Rosa, say hello to Luigi.
Hello, Luigi.
Hello, Rosa.
Rosa, we was a mean to Luigi, but we're going to make up for right now, ain't we?
You want to tell me?
Yes, sir, Luigi, we brought you something to eat.
I don't think I'm going to hold anymore.
Then, Rosa, be quick. Luigi, Thanksgiving, everybody's a talk about a turkey. You must be sick about hearing about turkey.
How you know?
So we didn't bring you any.
Oh, Pasquale. Pasquale, you're wonderful.
Instead, we got a surprise.
Surprise?
Rosa, open up the pot to show it.
Look, Luigi.
Mamma mia, back to the hot dogs. So, Mamma mia, it's hard for me to tell you exactly how I'm celebrate the Thanksgiving. Was a good and a bad, happy and a sad. But one thing I'm sure. I'm finally celebrate the Thanksgiving like a real American. Holding in my stomach. Do you love the son? Luigi Vasco, the little immigrant.
Describing his adventures in America. Life with Luigi is a Cy Howard production. It is written by Mac Benoff and Lou Derman and directed by Mac Benoff. J Carrol Naish is starred as Luigi Vasco with Alan Reed as Pasquale, Hans Conried as Schultz, Mary Shipp as Miss Spaulding, Jody Gilbert as Rosa, Joe Forte as Horowitz, and Ken Peters as Olson. Music is under the direction of Lud Gluskin. Bob Stevenson speaking. Be sure to listen next Tuesday at the same time when Luigi has as his special guest Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer's new singing sensation, the star of That Midnight Kiss, Mario Lanza. Stay tuned now for Escape. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Alan Reed could be such a heel, and yet we remember him most for his role as Fred Flintstone, right? Alrighty, 75 years ago, November 22nd, 1949, Life with Luigi here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Tomorrow, Mr. District Attorney, The Hall of Fantasy, Dragnet, and Pat Novak for Hire, and Claudia. But speaking of Claudia, we're going to head out for the barn right now, aren't we?
How do you feel when you switch to Geico and save on your car insurance? It's like going to work on one Thursday morning and thinking to yourself, just one more day until Friday. But then somebody in the elevator says, Happy Friday! Then you check your phone quickly and discover today is actually Friday. So yes, Happy Friday, random stranger in the elevator. Happy Friday indeed. Yep, switching and saving with Geico feels just like that. Get more with Geico.
Alert today, alive tomorrow.
Plan now with your family for civil defense emergency action. Someday it may save your lives.
Join, work, and share together with others this knowledge of self-help. Civil defense, an American tradition.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, we hear from Claudia, an episode from 76 years ago, November 22nd, 1948.
Your Coca-Cola bottler presents Claudia, based on the famous play and novels by Rose Franken. Brought to you transcribed Monday through Friday by your friendly neighbor who bottles Coca-Cola. Relax, and while you're listening, refresh yourself. Have a Coke. And now, Claudia.
Oh, it certainly is a lot colder outside than it is in the barn.
Pull up your coat collar.
It's up. I'm warm enough.
Yeah, you sound it.
Golly, just think only 3 more days to Thanksgiving. Well, it should be cold. Say, David, are you sure Her Majesty the cow will be warm enough?
You just said it was warmer in the barn.
It was, and so sweet. I love the smell of a barn.
I think maybe that's why I married you.
Why?
I must have known you'd like the smell of the barn.
You'd divorce me if I didn't.
On the spot. Come on, let's get back to the house.
Oh, what's the hurry? It's a beautiful night. It's only about 9 o'clock. We have nothing else to do until we go to bed.
suppose not.
She seems very contented, doesn't she?
She could be a lot of people. Mama, Bertha.
There could only be one she, Her Majesty the cow. She fits into our barns if she'd always been there.
Hey, look. Mama must have started the fire in the fireplace.
Oh, yeah.
See the smoke coming out of the chimney?
Oh, I love it. Look at the windows all cloudy with the warmth of the house. David, it's a kingdom, and it's all ours.
Yes, it's a kingdom with a mortgage.
Oh, what's a mortgage between friends? You know, Thanksgiving seems like a holiday just for us this year. And Christmas. Do you realize that Christmas is next?
I realize.
Gosh.
I realize also that you're nothing but a baby yourself.
You like me?
Oh, you're not bad. Not bad at all.
Oh, David.
What?
Nothing, except standing here between the barn and the house, and smoke coming out of the chimney, smell of hay. I could just bust.
Now, why on earth would you want to do that?
Because I feel I have to do something.
Well, there's something you can do.
What, darling?
Come on in the house before your brain freezes.
Oh, you. Whew. Feels good to be in. Mama!
Claudia? What?
I just wanted to know if you're here.
Where else would I be? How's everything up at the barn?
Just perfect.
Here, give me your coat. I'll hang it up for you. This one.
Thanks. Big of you. Ooh, my hands are cold.
Rub them.
Can't. They're too cold. Absolutely stiff. All around my mouth, too.
The cold doesn't seem to affect your tongue.
How your ears are getting pink.
Will you please leave my ears alone?
Oh, darling, you have such nice ears. You know, lots of men don't have nice ears. I wouldn't have married a man without nice ears.
Well, at least mine seem to be good and strong, which is the most important factor in this marriage.
Oh, you're so sweet.
Just see that you don't talk them off.
Well, if it isn't me own mother a-settin' by the fire. Oh, what a pretty picture. No home should be without such a picture. Or such a mother.
You smell of the barn.
Like it?
I like it.
Well, what a pretty picture, Mrs. Brown. Sitting by the fire, knitting.
Exactly what I just said.
You're pulling my leg, David.
Oh, Mama, it's such a beautiful night out. Her Majesty the cow sends you her regards.
I hope you conveyed her mine.
We did, of course. Say, David, what are you going to do now?
I am going to observe a moment of silence in honor of David Norton.
Oh, dear.
I'm going to light my pipe and then settle down for a nice evening by the fire.
Oh, you know, this should be the whole world. Just this. Come here, Shakespeare. Come on. I'll scratch your ears for you.
Your daughter, Mrs. Brown, has a thing about ears.
Come here, you disobedient cat.
He's asleep.
His motor's going.
She means he's purring, whimsy.
Here, listen. He's happy, too. Oh, golly, I'm getting sleepy already.
Don't do that.
Coming in from the cold.
I can just curl up with Shakespeare by the fire and sleep.
Well, go right ahead, darling. But try not to talk in your sleep.
I never talk in my sleep.
No, how do you know?
Very funny. Let me see. How many days? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 3 more days. 3 more days. Do you realize that?
Yes, it's already Thanksgiving.
Gosh. You know, it's a nice sort of holiday. Not too much and still enough to be one.
Do you know what she's talking about, David?
I have no idea what she's talking about. So long as she's enjoying herself, let her go ahead.
You know perfectly well what I'm talking about. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is Thanksgiving.
I need a haircut.
Listen, Shakespeare, I'm going to let you eat turkey on Thanksgiving, too.
I don't trust these barbers up here, though.
And Shakespeare, I'm going to give you some white meat, because Thanksgiving only comes once a year.
For cats.
For cats. But for people, if they're lucky and they have a kingdom, it comes every day.
Maybe I could cut it myself.
Watch yourself,
His hair, Mama. He's been having a running conversation with himself about his hair. Say, Mama, we better make out a menu for Thursday.
We're not going to have a big business, are we?
No, just us. Mama, you, Fritz, Bertha, I, and the Say, that is a big business, isn't it? You know, it's Bobby's first Thanksgiving. And we're just going to be family.
We'll put up a sign. Nobody else allowed.
Nobody else wanted. For once, we're going to be very selfish, all right?
All right. Not one pang of conscience either.
Well, why should we have any conscience about it? It isn't wrong to want Thanksgiving by ourselves.
No, it certainly isn't.
Just think, David, Thanksgiving on our own farm. in our own home. What'll we eat?
Didn't you say turkey?
Sweet potatoes with marshmallow on top.
You mean marshmallow on top with a little sweet potato underneath?
Ugh.
And chestnuts. We ought to have some chestnuts someplace. And nuts on the table, Mama. Apples and wine.
And a green vegetable.
Green vegetable? Do we have to have green vegetable on Thanksgiving?
No green vegetable.
No.
We have to have it every other day of the year.
You're absolutely right, David. No green vegetable wanted.
We won't need a very large turkey.
No, just about 8 or 9 pounds, I guess. I'll talk to the butcher about it tomorrow, Mama. Well, listen, maybe I ought to get a bigger turkey and we can have it cold.
You'll have a small turkey, and then you won't have to eat turkey for 2 weeks afterwards.
Turkey croquettes, turkey a la king, turkey hash, turkey cold, turkey hot, turkey sandwiches, turkey. I love turkey till January. Then I love ham. Well, let's see. Guess that's all from the menu,
I don't think we want anything else.
I don't want anything or anybody. I feel like a caterpillar in a cocoon. The fuzzy kind.
Very fuzzy. Boy, listen to that fire.
Lovely, isn't it? I was thinking it'd be sort of lonesome up at the barn for the cow.
In a few weeks, she'll have company.
Well, at least she has that to think about. David, look. You can hardly see outside. The windows are so clouded up. Winter's certainly going to be nice here. Oh, no.
You want a guy?
Telephone, what a bore. Oh, yeah, I'll get it. Hello.
Hello.
Why, Roger, hello.
How are you, Claudia, my dear?
Couldn't be better. David, it's Roger.
Roger, what's up?
Nothing, he just wants to talk to me. Don't you, Roger?
Don't I what?
Want to talk to me.
Well, of course I want to talk to you. Who else is there to talk to?
Oh, David, Mama, any number of people.
Not as far as I'm concerned. Just you.
Thank you.
Well, what's been happening on the farm?
Nothing. Everything. We have a roaring fire going. It's freezing cold outside. How is it in New York?
Freezing cold outside, dull and tedious inside.
Oh, too bad. Your wife home?
My wife?
Yeah.
Oh, no. No, she's visiting her sister in Chicago.
Well, is Jeffrey coming home for Thanksgiving?
No, he's going to meet his mother in Chicago.
Oh. Well, that'll be nice. Do you like Chicago?
Yes. Yes, I suppose I do.
Well?
Well, how's the cow?
Oh, she's fine, just standing around waiting for the blessed event. So are the rest of us.
I hope you'll invite me for the occasion.
We wouldn't think of having an occasion without inviting you, Roger. Would we, David?
Wouldn't we what?
Haven't you been listening?
I have not.
Well, how do you like that, Roger? David hasn't even been listening to our conversation.
Good. I like talking in private with my partner's wife.
Really, David, hearing one end of the conversation's most unsatisfactory.
How's the baby, Claudia?
Oh, Bobby's fine. Perfect. We thought he was teething, but he wasn't. Just a false alarm.
Well, he'll teeth soon enough. Don't get impatient.
Oh, I'm not. David, I don't know why he called. This is the most peculiar conversation.
Well, why don't you ask him?
You mean bluntly?
Yes, bluntly.
What was that, Claudia?
Oh, nothing, Roger. David was talking, and I was...
I hope we're going to have good weather all week.
Yes, so do I. Thanksgiving week is so much easier when the weather's good.
Easier for what?
Hush up, Mama. Stop eavesdropping.
It should be just beautiful up at the farm, now in the crisp weather.
And the evenings, they're almost the best of all.
Take a bow, David.
You're quite a little farmer, aren't you?
Yeah. There are 11 of us, Roger, counting the animals and Fritz and Bertha.
Good Lord. You sound like Noah's Ark. You having a big celebration on Thursday?
Well, turkey, you know, and...
I'm not going to Chicago, I decided. Couldn't face the trip.
Oh?
No. Flying's treacherous in this weather, and I loathe the train. It drains me completely.
Well, then you'll be in New York?
Well, I thought, since I had all day, I might drive up and wish a happy Thanksgiving to your son and cow.
Oh, well, Well, could you, Roger? Could you really make it on Thursday?
I certainly could.
What?
Claudia, I thought we just decided.
Well, Roger, we didn't dare ask you because of the Chicago business. I mean, I took it for granted that you'd... Well, if you're going to be in New York, why, that's marvelous, because then you can be in Eastbrook with us.
I'd love that. I'd love that more than anything else I could think of. As a matter of fact, I was sitting here in New York, and Well, I just took my courage in both hands and called you up and invited myself. I hope you don't mind.
Mind, Roger, your invitation is accepted with the greatest of pleasure. It's so nice to know that somebody considers himself enough of a friend that he doesn't have to stand on ceremony. When he wants to see us, he just picks up the phone and calls me up.
That's the way I feel, and I'm grateful you don't mind. Claudia, you'd tell me if I were interrupting something or interfering, wouldn't you?
You know I would, Roger. See you Thursday. Goodbye, Roger.
My regards to your mother, and not a greeting to that husband of yours. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Well?
Well, Roger's coming Thursday. Isn't that wonderful? I couldn't help it. He literally invited himself, and when he did, I realized that I'd like to have him very much. Well, somehow it just didn't seem fair to have all this and keep it to ourselves. David, say something. Don't just sit there looking accusing.
Well, you little... Do you think you have to make apologies to us?
Well, I didn't think I did, but you had that funny look in your eye.
You're a nice girl, darling.
Thanks. It'll be a nice Thanksgiving. It'll be even nicer.
Much nicer.
When a shopping spree turns into a shopping struggle, head right for a Coca-Cola cooler and the pause that refreshes. It's surprising how different things look when you shop refreshed. Fortunately, Coke is around the corner from anywhere now, so its delicious ice-cold refreshment is always handy. Hello?
Mr. King, is that you?
Oh, yes, Mr. Killian.
Just called to ask you if you'll be around Thanksgiving Day.
Yes, I'll be here.
Fine. Say, you don't think I'm imposing on Claudia and David, am I?
Oh, don't worry about it. They're glad to have you.
Well, I'm glad to come. Anybody else coming?
Claudia and David aren't expecting to ask anybody else, but you never know from today to tomorrow.
How right you are. Well, see you Thanksgiving, Mr. King.
Goodbye, Mr. Killian. Every day, Monday through Friday, Claudia comes to you transcribed with the best wishes of your friendly neighbor who bottles Coca-Cola. So listen again tomorrow at the same time. And now this is Joe King saying au revoir. And remember, whoever you are, whatever you do, wherever you may be, when you think of refreshment, think of Coca-Cola. For Coca-Cola makes any pause the pause that refreshes. And ice-cold Coca-Cola is everywhere. These broadcasts are adapted for radio by Manya Starr, and the entire production is supervised and directed by William Brown Maloney.
November 22nd, 1948, Claudia here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Tomorrow, Mr. District Attorney, The Hall of Fantasy, Dragnet, Pat Novak for Hire, and another episode of Claudia. Thank you for being with us here on Classic Radio Theater. I'm Wyatt Cox.
How do you feel when you switch to Geico and save on your car insurance? It's like going to work on one Thursday morning and thinking to yourself, just one more day until Friday. But then somebody in the elevator says, Happy Friday! Then you check your phone quickly and discover today is actually Friday. So yes, Happy Friday, random stranger in the elevator. Happy Friday indeed. Yep, switching and saving with Geico feels just like that. Get more with Geico.